It's taken 5 seasons, but we have built a playoff caliber team from scratch and have done it, signing undrafted free agents and practice squad talent. The Montreal Snowhawks just had their best season ever. We won 11 regular season games, made our playoff debut, and even won a playoff game. Coming off our best season, this year expectations will be higher than ever. Can we build off last year's success? And can this team actually compete for a Super Bowl title? The Snowhawks are back. Welcome into Episode 6, everybody. This team took their big leap last year with the growth of this offense, the return of Max Wilbon as the starting quarterback, and by far the most complete season this team has ever had. We had a lot of injuries affect us down the stretch, yet we ended up winning our first playoff game before going down against the Kansas City Chiefs. When you're doing a rebuild like this, you think about all the different milestones, from winning your first ever game, to then building your win total every year and trying to make the playoffs. Now, after this season, for us to raise the bar, we're going to have to make it past the division round. I like where this team is at. Max Wilbon put together our best quarterback season of team history a year ago. He threw for over 4,000 yards, and had Quentin Whiteside not gotten hurt toward the end of the season, there's a good chance he would have been our first ever 1,000-yard rusher. Adonai Mitchell put in another 1,000-yard season, his third of the franchise. We have a star tight end in Jeremy Blaylock. We have a number of standouts on defense, and I think the defense can play a lot better than they did a year ago. I actually think they were a little disappointing, but definitely not bad. Chad Jennings has emerged as one of our best pass rushers. For us to be successful, we're going to have to find ways to get good quarterback play, big plays from the offense, and can you develop those key positions on defense, pass rusher and cornerback. 2 tougher roles to develop, and yet we've done it. Nobody retired this year after we lost running back Kamani Vidal to an early retirement last season, and it looks like our coaching staff is intact, including our level 50 defensive coordinator, Alex Anthony. Now, I do plan to open up some roster spots this season, which means there will be some difficult decisions. We're now going into year 6 of the series, and for much of this roster, they've been on the team from day 1 and haven't been replaced. So I'm actually going to be looking to move on from some players. Some might surprise you. Brendan Rice is one of those players. I think we've established that our top 4 receivers are Mitchell, Fulcher, Victor Vega, and now Cole Bradford. And I think our wide receiver 5 needs to be somebody younger that has a chance to develop, and not our oldest wide receiver. Brendan Rice has played a very big role in this series, but we're going to allow him to hit free agency. He had a really good run with us. Last year we made a lot fewer additions to our team than ever, and I imagine that'll be the same way. It's hard to find starters on a now playoff team under the restrictions we have. So the players we add are going to be more so standout players that can be on the bench and maybe develop a role for the future. I'd also like to point out that we're actually spending a lot more of our cap space now. We're going to enter the offseason, it looks like, with around $70 million available. So our existing roster is getting a lot more expensive to keep around. I'm going to let Ramon Torres go, a 28-year-old backup defensive tackle I don't think really fits. $8.1 million. We keep Darnell Stecker at edge, a late addition to the roster, but we're going to let some players go like Jonathan Clinton. We got turned down by Isaiah Parks, so he might be gone. Jaden Hickman, probably not going to re-sign. And Reggie Carter, to me, hasn't really stood out. I gotta pay a little bit better attention, too, to the free agent pool when I'm checking on things, because it was pointed out in the comments last episode that I actually missed out on a 76 overall rookie safety, which I should not be doing. That should have been an automatic add to the roster every time. I've really enjoyed working on this project, and thank you to everybody that has supported it so far, despite it only showing up once every 7 to 10 days. At least there's a lot in those videos and a lot to watch in the meantime. I'm also trying to do a decent job with the chapters so that you can jump from section to section. I don't expect everybody to watch it all in one go. So the chapters are there, and I try not to be too spoilery with them. But welcome to another year that shows our defense as an 84 overall as we get started today, which is why I was kind of surprised we were 18th in points allowed last year. I think this defense has a top 10 ceiling. What is it going to take to reach? Well, we were 29th in pass defense last year, 14th in run defense. Our secondary is our strength, but at times I felt like it didn't really play like it. I'm hoping this year we can get our points per game down even further, and I'd really like to see us come away with more turnovers. Azareye'h Thomas is now an X factor. Tyrell Matthews is a superstar. I thought Thomas vastly outplayed Matthews last year, and if there's one area we could afford to get stronger, I think it's CB3. Because I'd like to play Azareye'h Thomas more in the slot and give us a deeper trio. With that being said, of course, we can only sign undrafted free agents, players that are on practice squads or practice squad eligible. We can also trade for current rookie undrafted free agents. And our offseason is officially underway. Looks like one of the best undrafted rookies out there is wide receiver Denario Barnes. We're kicking it off with a superstar wide receiver. We've seen some star devs, 99 speed. Oh, I'm out of my seat right now. That's how we're starting episode 6 with an absolute banger. Holy smokes. How does that even happen? Welcome, Denario Barnes, to Montreal. All right, let me bring my chair back. Second time I've had to get out of my seat in the last few days making content. Steelers franchise second channel, you already know if you watch that series. All right, Denario Barnes is absolutely going to get a part of this offense. Man, that is some dangerous deep speed. Route running is raw, but you cannot teach Olympic track speed. All right, I dare the game to try to make me as excited for anybody else. Brian Hayward, Idaho rookie, 70 overall. Good player. I'm going to sign him because I like to get good running backs. Star Dev rookie receiver. Will he make the team? Legitimately. Jose Cruz, fast slot. I like the athletic slot receivers because they're hard to come by. I'm signing him too. Remember, Ramon Torres was a 68, but like 28 years old. Keenan Drummond, meanwhile, 68 and a 23-year-old rookie. We usually start this process by looking at every quarterback, but I feel like that position is now settled. We are definitely open to a QB3. I think Markel Pearson's a really good backup. I'm happy playing him if I have to. And then J.J. Parsons, the QB3, actually has star development. So at this point, I'm not sure we add another quarterback again. All normal devs so far. I'm going to sign Clyde Lafferty, practice squad tight end at the worst. 21 years old, 67 overall. Oh, star dev. I was really hoping he'd have it. Josh Logan's a 62. He's lower rated, obviously, but 87 speed. To start developing him. And now a star dev tackle. The dev traits are showing up for us today, and run block finesse is in a good spot. That is now a rating I'm prioritizing. I'm going to be cutting some intriguing star dev players because we have simply too many. They won't let me have more. And run block finesse is also going to become a key rating when it comes to adding anybody at center. We'll sign linebacker Hugh Olford, a field general archetype that is a really good athlete. Matias Espinosa, pass cover archetype. Let's bring him in. Star Dev Safety Vernon Smith. Hybrid archetype, really good speed and acceleration. So a good deal of star dev traits here in undrafted free agency. I currently have 78 players on my roster. Oh, I knew I forgot to do something. And what I forgot to do was... This is funny. I forgot to trade away my draft picks this year. So it drafted for me. We can't have these players. This team did an incredible job drafting, by the way. It's a shame this isn't going to count. A hidden dev edge rusher at the end of the 7th round. You guys could have just let him go undrafted and then he'd be eligible to be on the team. It's one of the best drafts I've ever seen. And I have to get rid of everybody. No, he has hidden development. You have to take him. All right, I checked the roster. That should be everybody. And I made sure to trade all the players so that they're on other rosters and we can't scoop them up in free agency in like a week. And there's that safety that was undrafted that I should have signed last episode. He is now unavailable and probably won't become available. I can't miss that opportunity if it happens again. Going through rosters looking for potential rookies to trade for. A superstar dev center. We're going to get him from the Dolphins. All right, that's all we're going to do. Just a few additions. We'll check on practice squads when those get set. But let's get to another training camp. And quickly, just to go over our roster, you can see that it is getting older, but these players are still in their prime. Just not really the prime years for development, especially on the XP sliders I'm using, which I haven't shown in a while, but this was something I developed prior to starting the series. I spent a lot of time trying to find something that I thought worked for me, and the big changes are on the age progression XP rate. So you'll notice that I drop stuff off pretty steep, and most of a player's development is going to happen between the ages of 20 and 25. That's because Madden has a system where everybody's always getting better until they regress, and even then they can still earn upgrades and get better. But I think that, because there isn't a system of skill caps in the game, this better simulates it. And that means players that are 26, 27, 28, or even older are not going to get many upgrades and are at their ceilings. So when it's time to do these drills, it's not as obvious who you do them with, because you want players to still have growth potential. Like upgrading Quentin Whiteside at this stage doesn't make a lot of sense, because he's going to start regressing likely after this next season. So as far as what young players is there the most potential to develop, I'd still say Elijah Dunn at running back. And as of a few minutes ago, wide receiver Denario Barnes. Left tackle Kyle McCann is still just 24. Nick Matias, he's only 25. But otherwise, I don't think there are as many as in years past. We've established the roster. Still some things I'd like to add, but you're not going to be able to check off every box when you're limiting yourself to who you can sign. So this is our newest position battle storyline. Who's trying to climb the depth chart this year? You've got Elijah Dunn behind Quentin Whiteside. His time is coming. Start preseason strong and we'll talk. Now, the Platinum Camp Counselor ability is the best way to develop these young players. It's a pretty overpowered ability that I don't mind using for this series. This could be one of the last times I ever do this drill with Max Wilbon. I thought about even using this for somebody else, but I still think we can probably get an upgrade point or two out of it. And coming off his best season, I think Wilbon is safely our starting quarterback. Accuracy was the best it's ever been last year, 24 passing touchdowns. I did bump up that QB accuracy slider, 5 points, and then 8 for the CPU, and I felt it was far more balanced. He was still missing throws, but not at the rate you'd expect of a player whose accuracies are mostly in the 90s. The only slider change I have for today is -2 CPU pass block. I'll go over that after we get through training camp. Not that there's much to go over. It's 1 2-point boost. JJ Parsons has the depth trait, though, at star, so we'll give him the chance to do the bucket drop drill and just see what could happen. I'm happy with where Pearson's ratings are as QB2. And I think doing this series, although I'm only doing it once every now and then, I think I've actually started to improve at this drill. I don't know if I'm ever going to get a silver on it, but I'm starting to actually hit all the targets. One more. That should do it right there. With time on the clock, too. Silver! Elijah Dunn wants to become our starting running back. And there is a chance it happens this season. Quentin Whiteside is a really good pass catcher, and that's important in this offense we're running. The Kyle Shanahan offense is, made for Christian McCaffrey. And Whiteside had his best season in his career in this offense. With that being said, Dunn is progressing really nicely. And with Whiteside getting older, we're probably going to see Dunn overtake him. I don't know if his overall is going to end up being higher at any point this season, but likely next year. We'll see what a gold medal gets him now. I think he's either a 78 or a 79. He might catch Whiteside's overall, even if he never gets above a normal development. No upgrade here in terms of development, but he does get the skill point. And we're going to have to get started now on one of the most exciting young players we've ever added in Denario Barnes. What are we going to do with a 99 speed receiver? Holy smokes, not even close. Well, we're certainly going to try to add a big play element to our offense. Throwing downfield has not really been a big part of things. Adonai Mitchell can do some of that stuff, and so can like Victor Vega and Kevin Fulcher, but Barnes' speed is different. I like what they've done with the speed rating to where there's a significant difference between a 90 and a 95, and then a 99. Very few players get above a 95. So Barnes is going to be the fastest player in the entire franchise. Who comes off the field, though, to give him opportunities? I think that's the toughest thing. We just got Bradford into that slot role, and that's kind of more of a specialized skill set that Barnes is certainly not going to interfere with. So it's either going to be Fulcher or Mitchell that sacrifices snaps. And with superstar development, we could see a lot of development beginning with this gold medal boost. Left tackle Kyle McCann is the offensive lineman I've decided to invest the most into. He has the highest ceiling. Star dev, 24 years old. That's going to be a silver medal showing this year. Chad Jennings has emerged as this team's best and highest upside pass rusher at 26 years old. What this defense is missing now is somebody with a comparable ceiling that can rush off the edge. But an elite interior guy, I'm not saying Jennings is, but he is a really good interior rusher. But a really good interior rusher can destroy offenses and lead to the game-changing plays that can help us build upon an 11-win season. And, oh, what a move there. We're going to get gold. Dev trait boost, wow. Chad Jennings, superstar development. This has already been an exciting episode, and we haven't even played a snap of football yet. Giving Nick Matias this opportunity, getting gold with 31 seconds on the clock. I'd like to start developing a third linebacker. It's just Matias is 25 years old, and I think benefits too much from a nice training camp upgrade. Defensive back is becoming one of the older position groups on the team, and so far I have not been able to find that ideal CB3 replacement. I have made cornerback a weaker position in draft classes with the sliders because in general I think that cornerback is too strong. So already that makes the position group weaker. We were lucky to even run into Tyrell Matthews when we did. But those intriguing undrafted cornerbacks just don't seem to show up very much. I'd like to see a better year from Matthews, though. I felt teams were hitting too many jump balls on him in the end zone in that last video, and Zaire Thomas simply had a much, much better season. So let's see if that flips this year with Matthews getting this upgrade that should put him in the 90 overall club. All right, we went 2-1 in the preseason. Offense didn't seem to put up huge numbers, but Max Wilbon with the starters certainly played well. Markel Pearson got the second team snaps. Yeah, very good stuff here from Max Wilbon. Elijah Dunn goes for 3.5 a carry. These rushing averages are ugly. 2.7 for Whiteside. Meanwhile, Victor Vega, 91 yards receiving. I wanted to make sure that we would get Barnes snaps. I made him like the wide receiver 2 or 3. I don't know why it didn't work. Nick Matias, 3 sacks, 1 pick. Javier Villa, 2 sacks. Zaire Thomas, 3 interceptions. All right, let's see our upgrades now. At the top of the board, we're going to give 6 to Denario Barnes. Superstar dev. We haven't run into too many of these players at this age. We've developed some players into superstars, but to begin here, even if he's 23, he has a very enormous ceiling. So we'll go deep threat. There's a lot to work on. I mean, catching traffic, absurdly low. Hopefully he can be fast enough to where he doesn't have to make these catches in traffic. Release has to get better, and route running is still essential. So we'll go to 72 off this playmaker boost. We'll get catching in there, short route running, medium route running. I guess we'll try some of the other archetypes and see if they help enough of the physical game, because I just find that the physical archetype usually kind of stinks. And I think getting 3 catch in traffic here, 3 medium, that's a signal we're in the right direction. So we're going to have a superstar development receiver at a 76 overall. That caliber of player, as a rookie, typically goes top 5, top 10 in the draft. So that is an absolute steal. And now his ratings already look significantly stronger, ahead of his debut. JJ Parsons, to me, is still very limited, even with the star development. His arm strength is below average. His accuracy is below average. He just offers you nothing down the field. He can be a good backup quarterback, though. And having some depth at the most crucial position, is nice. I don't want this series to... I don't want a run to be broken because we lose our quarterback and then, our QB2 isn't in good shape. Welcome to the 90 overall club, Tyrell Matthews. 2 more man coverage. That's sitting at a 95. Let's go with some zone now. And maybe, a few hours on the jugs machine so you can get that catching up. Because he's prone to dropping interceptions. What happens here if I just focus on coverage with Matias? Our linebackers are good, but there is a lot of room for their coverage to get better. Like Jordan Rivera has been playing with like an 80 zone coverage around that value for most of his career. Matias now at 87 might be our best all-around linebacker. Here's Chad Jennings, now a superstar development player. And we're going to get that power rusher up. He's one of the best power rushers, it looks like, in the league, with that being a 94. We'll go nose tackle on this one because he's going to be on the field on a regular basis. Elijah Dunn is learning behind Quentin Whiteside. I don't think he'll ever be the caliber of receiver. Here's an upgrade for some carrying. I'm not sure they ever give you catching when you go elusive back, but we're going to prioritize upgrading his overall right now and getting him to an 81. I kind of feel like I've dropped the ball a bit with his workload so far. This 2031, by the way, is just preseason, but he needs to see an increase in his carries again this year. Kyle McCann is becoming more well-rounded as the years continue. There's a +4 to the run blocking, and we'll do 1 power because it's been a while since I've upgraded this attribute, and that'll improve some of the run block power, which is just a 65. At least the pass blocking is solid. And he is our best offensive lineman, I think. And finally, you've got QB1 Max Wilbon. Throw under pressure is what I'm looking for, and don't get it. 3 breaks, sack. Where does Wilbon take his game this year? All right, back to the available players, and at the top of the list, we have a 77 overall corner. We are hungry to add a third cornerback. Deontay Mallard might be an excellent fit. Hey, unstoppable force. That means he has a dev trait, right? X Factor Miguel Ortiz, edge rusher, but he's truly a defensive tackle. We're going to have to find a spot for him. All right. This is the first time I've been able to just straight up sign an X Factor player like this. The only notification you're going to get that one's there is the ability popping up on the player card. And now players actually on practice squads. I wish I could add an edge rusher. That's another spot where it's hard to find an intriguing young player. 72, not a bad ceiling there. Brandon Sheffield, star dev. Yeah, let's sign him. All right, we got to cut 22 players. Let's get to work. I don't know if we need a quarterback on the practice squad. I think we need that spot available for somebody else. We're going to move center Lane Richmond to the practice squad. Would be a good addition for some team out there probably, but our new superstar center, Mitchell Bergstrom, will be the backup. Jamison Dunlap getting pushed off the roster now. We have some other backup tackles. Newly signed Miguel Ortiz. I want to know his story a bit better. He's a 22-year-old player, 1 career tackle with the Bears, and a former 3rd rounder. I don't know what led to him getting cut. We're going to move him to defensive tackle because he's out of position, and he'll still be a 69 overall. All right, cuts are getting a little bit tougher. My first wave is done, and we still got to cut 5 more, which means like 5 guys got to get released that I didn't really want to. Felix Short was signed late last year. We're going to have to release him as a 75 overall star dev running back. Could have kept him over Cliff Pierman, but I like Pierman in his power role. I remember when I was intrigued with Isaac Doolittle as a deep threat. And we've moved on to our new deep threat receiver, Denario Barnes. We'll go into the year with 5 healthy receivers. We're going to release Chandler Osborne at guard. We're also going to cut Dylan Osborne at tackle. And I think we're now down to a 53-man roster. Here are the transactions that got us there. I'm excited to get into this new season. I really want to see if we can make use of Denario Barnes. And I've decided we're going to give Barnes number 0. Hey, we lost Lane Richmond. I thought he might get signed. He's a decent backup center. All right, we've made it to week 1. Our defense is graded as an 84, and the offense is a 79. Trying to build upon last year's success, the Montreal Snowhawks begin year 6. I'm seeing here that Denario Barnes has 70 carrying and 70 ball carrier vision. I actually think this is one of the closest players I've found to replicating Perry Cummings from my Browns rebuild back on Madden 18. Wow. I've been chasing that for almost 10 years. Here is our team going into season 6. We're going to find a way to incorporate Denario Barnes, but right now, Kevin Fulcher and Adonai Mitchell are the top receivers, and the offense remains about the same as it was a year ago. Defensively, Chad Jennings will get even more snaps, and I want to give an opportunity to edge rusher Darnell Stecker. He was a late add to the roster last year, but comes in one of our highest rated edges and also one of our youngest. He's a former 3rd overall pick ending up on our team, so that's pretty incredible. He's a failed draft bust at this point, trying to make it work with the Snowhawks. The talent is definitely there. The other move we're making is that Azareye'h Thomas is going to play some slot to begin the year, which means we're going to try to use Deontay Mallard as an outside corner. Will this work? He has the speed and man cover skills to do a lot of what I want to do, but he only has 63 awareness, 68 play rec. He's not a complete player, but he's still the number 81 cornerback in the league, making him about an average number 3. And we had to get a number 3. And as I mentioned earlier, I made one slider change this year to CPU pass blocking. We go from a 57 to a 55. I just felt that the CPU pass protection was a little OP at times. We have some good rushers, and there are too many pockets where quarterbacks are just standing around and they have all day to throw it. So I don't know if this is going to solve it, but it pushes it in the right direction, and I didn't want to go too far. The blocking ratings can be very touchy from point to point. And in this case, at least the value now is equal to ours. So what do you say we play some football? The journey starts in Season 6 against Pittsburgh. Montreal hosts Week 1 against Pittsburgh. Clean slate. After 11 wins a year ago, our goal is to make it back to the postseason and be in a better shape to actually win games once we get there. Anything less, and this season would be considered a failure. We're starting on offense, and year 6 is now underway. Denario Barnes handles the kick return with his 99 speed, and he fumbles the football. It's recovered by the Steelers. And the much-hyped rookie's first play is an ugly turnover. He is not just on special teams because he has a lot of speed. He actually has a high return ability. I'll have to double-check the carrying value. But he has like a 90-plus kick return skill. The Steelers get a short field, and they're running right at us here with Caleb Johnson. Denied on the sneak. Nice job, Newton. 4th down and short, and Caleb Johnson isn't going to get it. It's a turnover on downs. Looks like Stecker was in on the tackle. And so we're going to take over at the 7. Pretend we actually recovered the fumble as the offense takes the field. All right, Max. No quarterback controversy to start this season. It is your job uncontested. And we'll get to the line with a pair of receivers, none of which are rookie Denario Barnes. Quentin Whiteside's getting the first carry and a gain of 4. Can you imagine if you could start a project like this with a player like Denario Barnes and where he'd be after 5 seasons? This is going to be a throw, and the first of the year is caught. Cole Bradford makes the catch and gets us a first down. A 3-receiver set, and Bradford on the reception. Back-to-back first down catches. Out of the eye, getting a block on the outside. A superstar rookie gave us a big boost in year 5. Fullback Delonte Parham was awesome. And I think a big reason why our run game was so successful. We're going to continue to use a lot of 44. Pierman gets 9 more. Whiteside in the game on 2nd down, and we're back to pass. And he's got his first reception. Wilbon back to throw. Downfield and over the head of Denario Barnes. I've started to move him into the game. We'll see if we can figure out his role. 2nd down, Whiteside with a really good 2nd down carry. Parham motions out to play some tight end. And we put Blaylock over on that side. Just got to get away from the unblocked edge. Elijah Dunn races inside the 10. 2nd and goal from the 7. And now Barnes, he's going to line up in the backfield at running back. His first career rushing attempt. And Barnes around the edge has his first touchdown. It's not a catch. It's not a kick return. It is a toss at running back because he is our #1 gadget. And we're going to be able to use a lot of formation adjustments to move him around and do stuff like that. Snowhawks now on defense, and this is Caleb Johnson not outrunning the pursuit of Jordan Rivera. Cole Smiley is the young Steeler quarterback, scanning on second down before settling underneath. Gain of 9. See if our pass rush gives us any more of a boost now with a slider change as Smiley throws complete, and I don't think they got it. And they went after the new cornerback Mallard. All right, back deep, Denario Barnes is the punt returner. And with 99 speed, man, he's a big play waiting to happen. We're running outside, and here goes Dunn all the way to the edge where he gets a first down. Quick throw to Kevin Fulcher. And a 3-yard pickup on his season debut. Man, I don't know who's going to lead this team in receiving now that we've thrown a 99 speed receiver into the equation. This is Whiteside. Could we finally have that 1,000-yard rusher? Whiteside has been one of my favorite players on this team. When I think of the Snowhawks, I think of him. Back to pass. Wilbon. Man, that would have been interesting if he had time. Delonte Parham had a chance. Split backfield. You've got Elijah Dunn and Denario Barnes. And getting out in motion here. His first catch on the screen. And he's going to turn this into a gain of 9. All right, Parham, this is on you. 3rd and 1. And McCann kind of blew his responsibility. Full yard to go. This is aggressive. Pearman's the running back. Gets the call. Gets the first down. The screen is intercepted. Not again. You gotta be kidding me. Whiteside chases him into the end zone. The Steelers have just tied the game. I did it again. Another screen pass, pick 6. This one, though... No, this can't be my fault, can it? Come on. When did this just start happening? Who can I blame for this? And just like that, our great start is wiped out. Welcome to year 6, everybody. I'm expecting a lot of fun, close games. I do think we're good enough to maybe convincingly beat some teams too. So we'll see what the experience of going through this regular season is like. I always want to spend a lot of time in those initial games that help set the tone for what that season is going to be. What's that first initial story and narrative? The Steelers have just taken the lead. I can't believe it's 14-7 Pittsburgh. There we go, Wilbon getting into plus territory here at the end of the first half. Not much time remaining, but we will get the tying touchdown. No, that's not fair. 76-yard touchdown, and we lose an edge rusher. We're going to work here in the third. Down by 7. I just love the play design here in the Shanahan offense. Rolling out. Ooh. Man, I wanted to just dump that. Couldn't make a decision. Yeah, Jeremy Blaylock's kind of been a bit of an afterthought so far in this first game. That's not okay. I could see us breaking out some more empty as a way to get extra speed on the field. 3rd down and 10. And Wilbon's going to go to the end zone. That's for Fulcher. And he ran out of room. Caught the ball. But we're going to send out our field goal team. Josh Sanchez into the wind. But man, he's developed so well. And I've screwed it up. I knew I had to get some extra power. 55 yards into the wind. I have screwed this game up today. We're talking about a potential 17-point swing between the pick 6 and missed field goal. There, they missed a 60. We're almost even. But hey, we're down 10. We got to go. They're going to face some empty to start this possession. And Blaylock makes the reception and a first down gain. Staying empty, throwing for Barnes. Now he makes a catch running an actual receiver's route. And let's again go to Blaylock. As many layups as we can get him. Parham in the game at fullback. And the cutback from Whiteside. Gain of 9. Not sure it's close enough for a sneak yet. 3rd and 1. Good push. Pearman first down. Up the middle. Pearman breaking tackles and pushing the pile. That is a Snowhawk touchdown. And now we need our defense to get the football back. Cole Smiley looks to throw and dumps it. Get him down. What we want to do on 3rd down is be able to come out, play man-to-man, rush 4, and get the job done. Here is 3rd and 6. Smiley found his man. Artie Barlow was beat. We're setting up a screen. This is Caleb Johnson. Big tackle made by Tyrell Matthews. And it will come down to this. 3rd down and 4. Steelers will look to throw. They got Caleb Johnson by himself. That couldn't have been any easier. A fake from Smiley. Wide open. Got his man. And beating our 3rd corner, Deontay Mallard, in coverage. That's game. We should have never lost this one. Steelers win it 24-21. It all comes back to the pick 6. If that doesn't happen, we win this game easily. This team ain't better than us. Yeah, that freak pick 6 on a screen pass. It started so incredibly well. Wilbon couldn't complete a pass over 14 yards. This is a very mediocre game. 4.5 yards per attempt. We ran the ball well. We didn't play that great in simulating today. Fulcher and Mitchell were stuck at 29 yards. Are you serious? Defense had no sacks, no turnovers. Continuing to upgrade Cole Bradford, who is our main slot receiver. Brandon Sheffield, new edge rusher, is more of a speed than power rusher, but I guess could end up being pretty balanced. And I want to see how far we can take Miguel Ortiz, because he does not need much to upgrade. He has a legitimate pass rushing ceiling, something that's been hard to come by at D-tackle in this series. And then Mitchell Bergstrom, I'm not in any kind of a hurry, but I see him as a potential future starting center. It might take a couple years, even with superstar Dev, because his run block finesse, it's not startable at 66. And Quintana, our current center, is a good enough run blocker for us to get Whiteside going. All right, guys, we're on to game 2 now against the New York Giants. Let's hope for a more complete experience with no screen pass pick 6s. Well, we did go 11-6 last year and won our first 2 games. Remember, we opened the year 2-4. So it's not a complete wash if we get off to a bad start. We've shown we can bounce back. It took a long winning streak, of course. Don't love seeing Jackson Dart lead them to an easy opening drive touchdown. We're jumping in with less than a minute to go in the first half, and we're down by 11 points. 2nd down and 4, and that's caught by Adonai Mitchell flying over the middle. Trying to get whatever we can out of this half, and we're not in field goal range yet. Back to pass, and Wilbon's going deep. He wants Barnes, and he overthrew him. I think at the end there he might have had slight separation. I can't believe he actually overthrew Denario Barnes. Barnes comes off the field, and we're going over the middle. We need field goal range, and Mitchell gets us there. Not much time left. Got to be smart with any chances we take here. And we didn't get one-on-one downfield. So I think we're just going to kick here with 7 seconds left and try to do the rest of this in the second half. Really big pass to start the second half off, and we get it down in the red zone. And we got the touchdown on a 4th and 1 to Adonai Mitchell with the 2-point try. All right, resetting this game essentially. And here is Jackson Dart, Cam Scatabo, and this developed Giants offense with a nice gain. I'm not sold yet on keeping Azareye'h Thomas in a slot role when they spread us out. You know, in the first game, seeing us give up some passes from Deontay Mallard isn't promising. And we've played the entire series with Thomas playing strictly outside. Just thought that the slot move might help, especially in sim. Thomas in the slot here on the right side, facing 2nd and 11. Nicely done by Rivera. It also might change what coverages I want to call in certain spots, like man coverage when they spread us out. Maybe it is less viable as the pass goes underneath. Not a good tackle, but he slowed him down enough. All right, Barnes is back deep. We'll get him into the action now on the punt return. And the rookie is going to break one in his 2nd career game. He's different. Denario Barnes, punt return touchdown. It's a different game with him back there. The Giants have taken it down inside the 10, now losing this game as Cam Scatabo ties things back up again. That was just a bad look I gave him there. So we get a field goal here at the beginning of the 4th quarter, and the Giants now have it. Let's jump into this play here. 3rd down. Let's maybe get a little D-tackle swap here if they're tired like that. 3rd down and 9 for Jackson Dart. We're sending 4. He's got some time, but a bad throw. That's a break. No, intercepted. Cordell Flott. Wilbon intercepted, and we got to go to defense now. You see our D-line is pretty tired at this point. 1st and 10. Nice catch by Robinson, despite the hit from Azareye'h Thomas. Inside of 5 minutes to play. And they go Scatabo now. Inside, crossing the 15. And here is 3rd and 4. Dart. He's in trouble and wrapped up. It's Joel Newton on the sack. New York will tie the game with 2:45 remaining. Barnes on the return, and they're going to do a better job of containing him as we need to set up the game-winning score. We're going to change everything here. Didn't like the look they gave us. They'll put Whiteside in the backfield. And throwing over the middle. Quentin Whiteside, big catch and run. He's to midfield. I've been coming out in this slot screen, and they have not let me run it once. I think I've tried like 6 times already in the first 2 games. That's all right. We can change the formations on the fly. We're going to the air. And Blaylock hauls it in, shakes a tackle, and he's now in field goal range. I'm sure the Giants won't let us just run all of this time down, but for now, we can get it down to 1:15 and just work on getting a little closer. Motioning over Blaylock. And he's going to get a quick pass to him on the outside. He didn't go out. Here's that split backfield look again. 3rd and 6. Space play Barnes gets the first down and takes off for the touchdown. Denario Barnes, already 3 touchdowns in his first 2 NFL games. I think the Kyle Shanahan playbook was the perfect one for him to join. And man, the way we're using him, it reminds me so much of using Perry Cummings back in that Browns series. Those that have watched that franchise, which was, back early 2018, you know that Perry Cummings was special. The story with him was that he was a wide receiver I drafted who similarly had blazing speed. But I saw his secondary ratings were high for ball carrier vision and the more running back oriented skills. So I changed him to running back. His overall was really high as a rookie. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he ended up becoming one of the best running backs I've ever had in any series. And he was the reason that team was able to finally win a Super Bowl. And we're already talking about that 2 games into Denario Barnes' career. That is a catch. All right, the Giants are down 7. We could have, gone down and kicked a field goal. Clearly, I wanted the touchdown, so it ain't over. Scatabo gets a carry at this juncture. Are you serious? 40 seconds remaining. Do not jam anybody. Jackson Dart keeps the game alive. Dart's throw is broken up. That time it worked out a lot better, having Deontay Mallard man-to-man with Wan'Dale Robinson. 2nd down and 10. A little pressure, but Dart will end up throwing it away. Good coverage down the field. Got some different pass rushers in the game. You'll notice Ben Ventura and then Miguel Ortiz, the X-Factor defensive tackle. 3rd down and 10. Ortiz has gotten close a couple times. I think I've seen enough late in this game to where I'm actually wanting to get him more regular snaps. I'm going to call a timeout. Couldn't change my personnel the way I wanted to here. It's so disorganized. But 4th and 10, we could clinch the game. And as a matter of fact, we will right there. Montreal will beat the New York Giants. We avoid the critical error, and we get the job done thanks to a punt return touchdown and a swing pass touchdown that may or may not be a rushing score again for Denario Barnes. I wanted to make sure we could get, good use out of him. I don't want to change everything we do for him, but I want to add him to what we already do well. Wilbon, 266 yards and a touchdown, and then not much rushing for Quentin Whiteside today. Barnes' score did go as a 29-yard rushing touchdown. Blaylock had 9 receptions, and it doesn't seem that Barnes had a catch this game. We got 3 sacks from the starters. No interceptions through 2 games. Those will eventually show up. He's already changing things with this team. What do you say we adjust the sleeves too? I'm sure the comments have rolled in there, which I would appreciate the engagement. You leave a comment. Denario Barnes getting the playmaker upgrade, carrying, short route running. I think we're all wondering what his overall would be at running back. All right, we're going to get into the gear a little bit. We'll go tight jersey sleeves. Speed flex. No, we're going to give him my favorite helmet that's come into the game in recent years. I like the Vengeance stuff. And with the fastest players, I always tend to customize their cleats more so. You got to have fast-looking cleats. That's not a fast cleat. Your 40 drops by 0.3 of a second if you wear that. There we go. We need something fast. You know what? This one looks faster. You know what? I got to see what Barnes' overall is as a running back. I just need to know. He's a 77 overall wide receiver right now, and would be a 78 overall running back. Atrocious start in Game 3. Denver gets a quick touchdown. We throw a pick, and they score again. This has been really sloppy. What just happened? Another interception. All right, game 3 is a mess for Max Wilbon. And this hasn't been a great showing for the defense either. 28-6. And we're going to get into the action. This one's going to get thrown up and out of reach for Jeremy Blaylock. You never know what you're going to get with Max Wilbon, do you? I thought this would be his best chance to start strong. And that has not been the case. That's caught. Barnes on the reception. We're getting him some more snaps. I mean, we're down a bunch right now. Okay, I wasn't expecting us to go for it there. I was expecting a field goal, honestly. But the drive ends up getting us a touchdown and the 2-point try. Intercepted Tyrell Matthews. You want to make something happen? Let's see what we can do here in the fourth quarter in Denver. A notoriously difficult place to play in September. And it's a fake from Wilbon, and he is going down. Uh-oh. Got a down lineman now. Chamberlain, the right tackle. Back to pass. Down the middle. Out of reach for Barnes. Gotta get at least some of it here. Bradford holds on. It's 4th and 6. Yeah, that's another bad completion percentage for Wilbon. What is he up to? 4th down. Blaylock is the target. He just threw it too high. All right, that's a wrap. Snowhawks fall to 1-2 with a lopsided defeat against Denver. Trying to figure out if this team has the ceiling of last year's, and we're not going to if Wilbon continues to play like this. 5 yards an attempt and 2 interceptions? What are you doing? There's no reason for it to be that bad. We finally got an interception, but still a really ugly game. We have an injury. And Jorge Quintana with a broken thumb. Not good. We have a good young player to develop at center, but I didn't want to play Mitchell Bergstrom already. 3 games in, the defense has really not done that well. 26 points per game allowed. Pass defense is still struggling. I think soon I'd be looking to maybe go back to our old cornerback deployment and just play Thomas as the number 1 or number 2. I mean, he's still starting. He's on the field all the snaps. New England's off to a good start this season. And at 2-1, they'll try to put us down to 1-3 in this early division race. Yeah, our defense has allowed like 3 opening drive touchdowns already. I don't know what's wrong with Wilbon. 2 incompletions. We get the 3rd down conversion. And then the big play to Fulcher. All right, we're going to tie things up with Delonte Parham. New England football here in the second quarter, and down goes Drake May. That's Jordan Rivera. 4-man rush. May got his man. A first down for Douglas. Drake May downfield. He got him again. That's the thing sometimes with these good quarterbacks. Drake May incomplete. The really good quarterbacks will shred zone coverage if you don't pressure them. It's just kind of a fact of life. You got to call more man coverage. You have to find ways to get pressure. You're not going to sit in any coverage and just get what you're looking for against the best quarterbacks. I think we're seeing this team is desperate for some more pass rush outside of Chad Jennings. 2nd down, and from the 7, Drake May is going to run away from everybody and nearly score. All right, so they got the touchdown on that possession, and we come out and are a little reliant on like big 3rd down conversions. The early down consistency hasn't been there. The second half is underway. Montreal down 17-13. It's a play action, and Wilbon has Bradford. First down. We're empty. Barnes across the middle. They can't keep up with him. First down. So when I'm trying to get Barnes snaps up, it's Adonai Mitchell who's losing some snaps. Fulcher is, I think, a better all-around like route runner, and he's a little bit younger. I feel like Barnes is kind of the long-term Adonai Mitchell replacement. Of course, they're both going to play. Fulcher wide open, gets a block, and he gets 31 yards on the catch. Trying to build some momentum with this offense. And this is Whiteside on a run, taking him inside the 10. Another run. This is done. He's in. That is a Montreal touchdown, and they take the lead. What are we doing? What is wrong with this defense? A lot of negative plays on offense to begin the year. 3rd and 20. You can't deal with that. Patriots up by 4. And the ball near midfield. Drake May dumps it. Good tackle by Artie Barlow. Trying to get some more rotation in along the D-line as May has a man on 2nd down. They beat Matthias. Braden Swinson rotates in. And now with like Medrano also, we can afford to rotate Jennings in and out. And I've also decided to take Azareye'h Thomas out of the nickel. So that's now going to be Mallard inside. Especially with all the man coverage we run, it makes his matchups a little bit more reasonable. On 2nd down, we'll make the tackle here, setting up 3rd and 4. We're sending a 5th. Drake May has to throw it away. Montreal trailing by 7. Look at him fly across the middle. It's Barnes, and he goes down at the 45. That was one of the fastest crossing patterns I've ever seen in my life. I'm just appreciating his speed at every turn. He's different. Barnes in the backfield now. Another swing pass. Looking to set up some blockers and get a 1st down. There's just so much you can do with Denario Barnes. Mitchell is in the game here, and he's got it. Nearly an overthrow by Wilbon. Barnes again in the backfield, and now we hand it to him. Nice move. Like, how much true running back do we try to play him? Because I think he's a very hybrid player. 3rd down and 8. Oh, no. Picked off. Was trying to go to Kevin Fulcher. And by the time I saw that guy, Hufunga, sit down there in the middle, it was too late. Nice ball from Drake May, and Thomas is able to break it up. Sure seems like our opponents are always in these like 3rd and 4s. So here we are trying to get our offense the ball again. Drake May going up top, testing our new corner, and he is ready. Deontay Mallard. Sky punt, I guess that neutralizes the return. I still don't know why the sky punt is even in the game. Without our main center, our run game has suffered. So a lot having to happen through the air as we'll swing this out now. Quentin Whiteside, he's able to shake a defender and get us a 1st down. Let's not play so much out of the shotgun. Maybe it's a little overblown right now. Let's get on the roll and let Wilbon go get us a 1st. Or close. A play action. Looking for Barnes. Good route. Or is he just that fast? Either way, 1st down at the 10. Blaylock motions. And does not do a good job on that block. From the 14. Barnes open. Can't hold on. They're playing with 8 in coverage. Wide open. Barnes scores again. He was like the last option on that play. But he has a habit of getting open, doesn't he? Denario Barnes does it again. What an exciting story for year 6, no matter what this season turns into. Patriots ball. There's a nice RPO, and they're quickly into plus territory. We know that ain't a fumble. First down, Drake May. They got it back. That is a catch. Drake May, all the time he could ask for. Another first down catch. We're going to have to spend timeouts now. We have to hope there's an incomplete pass or something to stop the clock for us. We have one timeout left. And now it's a fake with a screen. Wow. And, man, you might as well just let him score at this point. Drake May wants to throw or maybe run, and he'll get the touchdown. Yeah, our defense stinks to start the year. Oh, it's going to be Victor Vega. So the offense will have an opportunity now. We have to go 76 yards with Max Wilbon. And we'll get underway. The pass, a little behind Fulcher. What a catch. Adjusted to that perfectly. Ooh, we might have a chance here. Can you underthrow him a bit? It is, what a play, Christian Gonzalez. He's too good. New England is going to win this game, and that will send us to 1-3 to start the year. The only thing that gives me hope right now is that we went 2-4 to open a year ago, and we're just fine. But our defense just is bad. We're not getting turnovers. We're not getting pressure. The run game is busted right now, I think, until Quintana returns. Denario Barnes is not going to solve every problem with this team. I guess we did get some sacks here. We got 4. But you gave up 34 points. So we're just going to stop this slot experiment then. Things aren't going well defending the pass. Maybe Javier Villa gets a snap reduction. And let's flip Matthews and Thomas. Checking out the free agent market. Not sure there's anything out here that's really going to move the needle for us in any area. Some players I'd want if our depth were not nearly as good as it is. On practice squad. Don't need a receiver. I'd love to find another edge rusher. We have Brandon Sheffield. Maybe I got to start playing him more. There's a lot to like in his skill set. All right, we have a long history in this series with Miami. And they have had the upper hand. In all 5 years we've played them, there has been a sweep of the season series. We've never split. And we sure need to get off to a better start this year against them. So we're going to join the game with our defense and see if they can set us up and not give up an opening drive touchdown. Made a few adjustments, but I don't think it's anything that overhauls what we were doing. Especially as we face Joe Burrow, man. Doesn't feel good. Dolphins start play action, and Burrow has a man. Joe Burrow. Play action and wide open. A quick throw. And they get Keon Coleman, a screen pass. Burrow under pressure. Trying to hang in the pocket, and eventually Darnell Stecker sacks him. Good chance now defensively. Burrow's going up top. Rivera, the targeted defender. It is incomplete. So they didn't get anything on their opening drive. We'll take that. And now a run Whiteside. Buying time until we get Quintana back. Bergstrom should be a good center eventually, and he does a good job on this play. It's a first down. Wilbon with a play action, and deep down the middle, there is Kevin Fulcher. Just had to get away from that linebacker. You got the speedy Denario Barnes clearing over the top. You ain't got to worry about those guys. Up to the 40 now. Good start to this drive, but they'll get to Whiteside again. Screen pass, no interception, Quentin Whiteside. Man, how bad does screwing up week 1 look now? You know, if we can do better than a 2-4 start, I think that's the benchmark right now. Win these next 2 games. Dunn is the motion man. Barnes the target. He's got it. And room to run. Can they get him? He turns the corner. Denario Barnes. Touchdown, Montreal. Hey, that's the way the Dolphins like to play. You want Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane on the field. We only need one guy that fast. You know how hard it is in a series like this to show up 6 years in and have a guy make that much of an impact as a rookie? Intercepted, Jordan Rivera. And I have flashbacks to week 1. We get the touchdown from Barnes, get the ball with a chance to go up 2 possessions, and we failed. Today needs to be different. Pressure coming. It is going to be Blaylock. Ooh, got him. Threw it behind him on purpose because I knew there'd be that defender on the other side. We put Barnes in the backfield. And it's a fake. They take him out of the play. But Blaylock's open. Juking defenders down to the 11. On the run. Barnes all the way out and in for the touchdown run. Montreal with a 2-touchdown advantage. This rookie, man, is special. We just gave him a safety. A lot of punts go down to the 1 here in Super Sim. So as far as the first 5 to 6 possessions go, this certainly has been one of our better games so far defensively. This is Achane now, hurtling through, and he's going to take it outside, and that's a 27-yard touchdown. There you go. Kevin Fulcher down inside the 10, Denario Barnes. The offense has changed quite a bit with the addition of Barnes. Oh, man, I wanted to give Whiteside a chance. Yeah, Rousseau tends to dominate when we face him. Let's play a little bit more defense now. When you got Joe Burrow on the other side, you're happy keeping him to single digits there in the half. From the 25, it is Achane, and he gets 2. Burrow gets it out, and that is a missed tackle leading to a first down. Third down again for Miami. They're looking for 2, and Barlow on the man-to-man coverage denies them. So we'll try this again. 4th down. If we can get the stop here, we get a short field. What do you got, Joe Burrow? He wants to throw. Outside. Oh, he caught it. Almost sacked on the screen. Oh, come on. You can't fall for that move. Achane, gain of too much. How come they never throw the pick 6 on the screen pass, and it's just me on edge rusher who's out of his position? He's like 3 gaps over. Achane to the 9. Dolphins trying to tie the game up. That's good coverage again. I think, press man coverage is kind of the style of play we have to lean into. 3rd down and 6. And Burrow is going to run. And now throw it. He shouldn't have done that. He could have ran. Denario Barnes, 22 yards. We missed a 56-yard field goal. Dolphins driving in response. Looks like they get a field goal. Whiteside is the running back. And we go play fake and need to get rid of the ball. I probably had guys over on the right side, but I couldn't take my eyes off of the crumbling pocket. Barnes is in the game again. Play action. He makes the catch. Has another first down. 116 yards. Give me a gap there. Elijah Dunn to the 1-yard line. Dunn still in the game, and he gets to the end zone. And that is going to help put us up by multiple possessions here in the fourth. 24-15. Dolphins running it here with Chan. If we could just get them into a tougher third down, I'd love to, face some new scenarios here. It's third and short, third and short, third and short every time. Chan. He gets it. Burrow fakes, looks downfield. That is stolen. Azareye'h Thomas on the pick. Montreal up 9, gets the football. And there's some of that press man coverage. We're trusting to get us the occasional big play. Think he got a step there, but the throw is behind him. You really got to be perfect. There we go. Next drive for Miami. Ooh, we lose Javier Villa, but they had a turnover on downs. We've rearranged some pieces, and the puzzle seems to fit a little better today. Dolphins fourth down. Burrow vertical shot. Incomplete with everybody's favorite animation. Boy, does it feel good to beat Miami. 30-15. The best defensive performance of the season. And a pretty good offensive showing again. We ran the football better. We got the ball to Denario Barnes. Joe Burrow didn't account for a touchdown. And we won the turnover battle. Good job, guys. Okay, we didn't run the ball well, actually. There were just instances where we were okay. With Barnes and Dunn primarily. And then Barnes goes for a $116. 2 sacks for the defense, Stecker and Jennings. That is more like it. Ability-wise, I have been more focused on getting the defense boosts, especially given this bad start. I have to keep fixing edge wizards. I haven't wanted to make any slider changes in season. I'm only making changes between seasons. I do wonder if the CPU's pass blocking could still come down a bit. I'm willing to give it the whole year, though, and see what I think at the end. Next up, we're getting Atlanta, a team that is not fun to face because they have Bijan Robinson. Max Wilbon, 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. This guy stinks in September. The December Wilbon, though, that guy's pretty good. So far, Denario Barnes has accounted for 63 rushing yards, 3 rushing scores. He has 2 receiving touchdowns with 237 receiving yards. And then he has a punt return touchdown. 6 scores in 5 games as we now take on Atlanta. 3 and out to start the day. That's what I like to see. If we can compete with Atlanta at 4-1, I think I'll be happy with this start to the year. I really don't expect us to get off to the best of starts just because we typically haven't. And it takes a while for me to open up some of those ability slots to where I can really boost areas of the team that need it. At this point, all those preseason boosts have wore off, and we can just, boost the pass rush and the defense as much as we need to. Let's get started here. 7-0 Atlanta. Robinson did get them a touchdown. And the pass is off the hands of Kevin Fulcher. Quintana's back. Our center's healthy again. Good news for Whiteside, who still doesn't go far. 3rd down and 7. And it's Blaylock at the sticks. Back to pass. We want Barnes. Got him. Taking off now, picking up a big gain to the 17. Again, he comes across the middle. Barnes makes a move, looking for the end zone. He's a yard short. Up the middle. Cliff Pierman puts it in the end zone to tie things. Oh, come on. What is that? 76-yard touchdown, Shamir DK. Atlanta's just one of those sim darlings this year. They always seem to do pretty well. And now they have taken a 17-point lead, capitalizing on a Wilbon pick. Down 20 here in the fourth quarter. It looks like they're going to get the better of us again. Wilbon puts some air under that for Fulcher. He can't catch it. And on fourth down, we do get it to Blaylock. Little surprised our offense is simming so mediocre. Might have to, work on getting our morale up and see if that can start to make things click. Like, we usually don't start strong. Morale plays a big factor, and momentum, is real in that aspect. From the 31-yard line, we're going to try to get a little bit closer if we can. Fulcher, open, little behind him, and he caught it. Touchdown, Montreal. Our passing game has never been this wide open, though, or effective at doing it. So this is exciting if we can start to get things to fall into place. Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Shamir DK is a superstar. Bijan Robinson, another star I don't even know. And Michael Penix. Man, how do you have that much talent on one team? That's wild. I can't defend that. I'm sorry. 9 minutes left to go. Penix again for Drake London. That out route is automatic. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. Can you get off the field, though? 3rd and 11. How about the rush? Holy smokes! The head of steam there behind pass rusher Darnell Stecker. Barnes on the return. Where is he going to take this one now? Weaving through this defense. Inside give. Lot of room, Whiteside. First down. And dumped out on the screen. I'm paying extra attention on the edges now. Wow. Well played. 3rd and 4. Very big play as we bring Barnes across. We get him a touch, and he just runs around him. Unfair. I almost felt bad using Barnes, as OP as he feels. And then I remember the Miami Dolphins. They're basically doing the same thing. We finally have a receiver, though, that has legitimate, wide receiver 1 upside. In terms of, he could start for a majority of teams. We've had good receivers. I'm actually impressed with, Mitchell and Kevin Fulcher. But this is just different. We were gifted an opportunity with Denario Barnes. And now 5 minutes left to go in the game. Oh, boy. I was hoping I could buy some time out there, and it wasn't for sale. Barnes sits it down, and that's a 10-yard catch. 3rd down, just give him a chance. That is for Blaylock. No! He lost it. And we got to go. To the seam, that's not going to be a catch. Man. Maybe if I threw it sooner, actually anticipating it. If we ever make it to a Super Bowl in this series, I really hope that we don't have to face Atlanta. That, to me, is the nightmare matchup with this offense. Holding them to 27, I think, is mostly winning football. Of course, they could still score, but we're in this game right now. We're going to spend all of our timeouts. Oh, you weren't going to block that guy? You knew he could run around him. Heads up play. That's 4,000 IQ. This defense is good, too. They have an X-Factor corner and a superstar corner. Kind of like us. 1st down and 10. Deep over the middle. A bad throw that might have sprained Bradford's ankle. It was so low. Down goes Wilbon. Man, I just can't find anybody. I have exactly one idea left. Deep downfield. It is thrown for Barnes, and it's off his fingertips. Atlanta will take over on downs, and it looks like just like a year ago, we're probably going to be starting this season 2-4. Going deep for Adonai Mitchell. Wow! He caught that. So this has to be a touchdown here. Way to pick your own guy. This has to be a touchdown here in 2 seconds. So I'm just telegraphing it. And I couldn't get it. All right, a meaningless play now. Meet me over here. Touchdown. 1 score loss to Atlanta, I guess doesn't hurt quite as bad. In a way, though, it's a game that makes you feel like we could beat these guys. And if we can battle with Atlanta, then we can battle with anybody. But just like last year, we have to put together a nice streak of games. We start 2-4 yet again. I'm not really fazed by it. My philosophy is at some point, you're going to have to go on a win streak in the second half anyway. Whether you're 4-4 when you do it or 3-6. I just care about a 3+ game winning streak at some point in the second half. And we'll see if things fall into place. So there is no panic. I think our defense has actually come to play better these last 2 games. 27 points against Atlanta isn't like a great game, but it was winnable. And the offense didn't do their job prior early in the game. So I'm going to accept that and hope that we can now look ahead to getting on track. We got some home games against the Jags and the Eagles. Feel like I haven't upgraded Jeremy Blaylock in a while, so here he is getting to 84. Takes $10K for him to get an upgrade now, so they're not going to happen very much, but he has become a top 10 NFL tight end, and here are his career numbers now. It's his 5th season. Never gone over 1,000 yards, and his usage this year is way down. That is something that has to get corrected. We got some rain as we move into Game 7. And with another 2-4 start, the pressure is on to stack some wins and try to replicate last year's success. New England 5-1 to start the year, so they're going to be tough in this division. Last year, the Dolphins took the AFC East. And after recovering the opening possession fumble, Max Wilbon taking us down the field. And we're going to take it inside the 10, getting a touchdown to Cole Bradford. Ooh, that's a big touchdown. That's 39 yards to Kevin Fulcher. I don't know why we start slowly and then figure things out, but here we are in the red zone again. We're going to probably end up settling this time. Can you just give me the next play? It's a touchdown, Elijah Dunn. 21-7 Snowhawks with a couple minutes left to play in the first half. Baptiste settling for Brian Thomas, gain of 7. Travis Hunter lines up on the far left, and on 3rd down, the pass is contested and yet caught for the first. Play fake. Baptiste under pressure and intercepted! Azarie Thomas, a gift-wrapped interception he'll take to the end zone. Touchdown, Snowhawks. You know, it's nice to see the CPU make a mistake that I've made millions of times. Put a little pressure on the quarterback, and you can get opportunities like this. He was never open. Thomas stumbles as soon as he catches it, but still makes it all the way to the end zone. I'm not even that surprised about this. It's become this team's script to start slow. Play action. Uh-oh. Ooh, we got a free play, it looks like. Downfield, Fulcher. What a catch! What do you mean he lost it?
Offside. Defense.
3rd down. Fulcher, dude, just catch one of these in traffic one time. No openings. Don't let them back in this game. 28-7, Jaguars ball. Down goes Baptiste. He coughed it up. Hit by Newton on the play. 3 games in a row where the defense is actually doing their jobs. Wow! Everybody meets at the quarterback that time. Pretty nasty up front. Jennings almost got there in time, but that's still well short of the mark. And this is looking like our best performance of the year. Montreal cruises to a 31-13 win. The defense continues to build upon good performances, and it seems the offense played to their potential. Wilbon, 3 touchdowns, 267 yards. Really nothing bad from him in this game. He could have had an 80% completion percentage if the contested catches were caught once in a while. Elijah Dunn, 15 carries, 72 yards. Not a carry for Quentin Whiteside. I jumped into some action and saw Whiteside was on the field. He had some catches. So I did make a change. Elijah Dunn at RB1, which led him to get 6 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown. And then the defense picked up, looks like 5 sacks and the interception and a fumble recovery, a couple of them for Azareye'h Thomas. Sure sounds like Defensive Player of the Week to me. I had moved Elijah Dunn above Whiteside on the running back depth chart. His average has been much better, but he hasn't gotten a ton of volume this year. I might have to continue that for another game. I still have Whiteside as the 3rd down running back 1, but I'm guessing the simulation cares a lot more about RB1, with this playbook anyway. Another rainy game against the Eagles. We're attempting to get to 500. Chad Jennings gets a sack, and we'll get off the field. The defense, they kept allowing touchdowns to start games to begin the season, and now they are getting off to much stronger starts. Philly scores first. We'll jump in here in the second. Not much offense thus far as we go play action. And here goes Wilbon, scrambling ahead for the 11-yard gain. We're going back to pass again. Fulcher getting 7. I think the simming is going to be a lot more biased to getting done the football if he's listed as RB1, but much of the formations I like to call when we're actually on the field will prioritize Quentin Whiteside. We have Dunn in the game now. Philly going 5 across the line. We're going to challenge him with the run, and he stumbled but still got it. I was trying to cut downhill about the same time he nearly fell on his face. Let's go with the play action now. Wide open. He's got him. Cut. Blaylock at the 1. Done. Touchdown. Montreal takes their first lead. I'm seeing a lot more sacks out of the simulating as well. Jordan Rivera sends them backwards. Montreal gets good field position. This more complimentary, complete football, it just makes everything so much easier from a field position standpoint. And just the offense helping the defense helping the offense. Let's jump in and try to build this lead now. We have 43 seconds. See if we can build this lead up anymore. 34 seconds remaining. They're sending pressure, and they got there. There's a flag, though. Pass interference. Done. Yeah, we're not going anywhere there. 6 carries, 15 yards. I think we have to see if we want to prioritize Dunn or Whiteside at this point. We'll let Dunn get the lead roll for a couple games. As we throw over the middle, that's Levy inside the 5. We'll run this down a little bit. I only need time for 2 plays, so I think 15 seconds is plenty. 3rd down to the outside, and Barnes made the catch, but didn't go anywhere. Yeah, I think I'll play it safe here. Philly's still a good team, and I don't want to miss a chance here to go up a touchdown. Time for some defense. Philadelphia in the 3rd quarter trails by that same touchdown. And that's going to go, and eventually the receiver's going to go down. Can we get some pressure on Jalen Hurts now? It's a 4-man rush, and he's going deep, testing Matthews, and that is incomplete. Artie Barlow on the assist. Let's see if we can get the offense going now. Elijah Dunn with a nice run inside. That goes for about 12. Back to pass, and now dump to Dunn. And that's another 1st and 10. Philly could be sending a lot of pressure on this one. And here is a throw. Caught. Barnes coming across the middle. 3rd down and a full 2. We're going to run. And Pierman's got it. He's in the secondary. Runs straight through the safety across the 30-yard line. Fulcher's now lined up as the slot receiver on this play. Blaylock wide open. Uncovered. He's inside the 10. Another nice day being put together by QB1 Max Wilbon. And we put Barnes in the backfield again on 2nd and goal. And you've got to do a little bit better than that. Touchdown, Denario Barnes. It's a small thing, but I really like that they put the gadget depth chart position in the game so you can do stuff like this easily. And now our defense gets to protect some leads and go after the quarterback. And we're going to send for Jalen Hurts to the outside, trying to copy what we did. Eagles sweeping. That's trouble. Loss of 4. We're going to get Matias Madrano some snaps. 2nd down and 14. That's Devontae Smith. I try to use more subs in the second half because the wear and tear is real, and I like to get fresh players in to rush the quarterback. 3rd down and 5 now. Another 4-man rush. Hurts looking right, then left, and eventually it's a short gain of just 2, and they'll go for it. I formation straight up the middle, and a broken tackle. Eagles get a huge pickup from Hewitt. 3rd down and 4. Hurts on the slant. They beat Azarie Thomas. 1st and 5. Hurts escapes and finds the end zone, and the Eagles make it a close 1-score game. The screen is set up on 3rd down. Hewitt following blockers, and he'll end up a yard short. Can't let him run right up the gut this time. 4th and a yard. Looks like it's going to be to the left. Inside give. Too easy. Wow, Hewitt. Hard to bring him down. Hurts is going to keep it now, and he's wrapped up for a loss by Javier Villa. 3rd down and 9. Hurts to the outside. A little too tall. It was there. They go field goal over going for it on a 4th and 9. So now we try to end this game. We have 3:31 remaining. We're going to get it started here. Elijah Dunn stumbling through the hole, gaining 6. All right, Eagles. Get us to 3rd down for the first time. We need 3. Back to pass. Wide open is Quentin Whiteside. Eagles out of timeouts. We put Denario Barnes in the backfield and sweep it to him. Getting a block out in front. He'll run for 5. A 1st down would end the game. We keep Barnes in the backfield. Here we go. Pass is caught by Blaylock for the 1st down. He was double covered, and it did not matter. That's going to be game. It was a rough 2-4 start, but we're playing good defense and now have a little winning streak. That's going to get us back to 500. Montreal now 4-4. as we reach that awkward midway point, because now there's a 17th game. I would go back to 16 games instantly if it were up to me. Wilbon, again, protects the football, and when he does that, we don't lose much if he can just keep the ball under control. Elijah Dunn, 50 yards, not a great day on the ground for us. We hit Denario Barnes for 8 catches and a touchdown. Blaylock made some really good plays. He might not get the most targets, but he's one of those guys where in the red zone or on third down in the critical moment, I trust him, which is why he got the game-winning opportunity. This year's trade deadline looks to be a pretty boring one, as there's not a move I want to make. It's week 9, and after these back-to-back wins, we now face the New England Patriots again. We'll test out this little hot streak. Last time we played them, it was 34-27. Our defense started to turn things around immediately afterwards, so I'm glad we get our rematch right now. Here's the development on Mitchell Bergstrom, the young center. Trying to get his agile archetype up, but when we're using the run-blocking boost, we can at least get it to a 75. Pass protection still needs work. Again, he's more of a long-term developmental project. Elijah Dunn, continuing to get the RB1 workload, getting ball carrier vision, break tackle, and agility. So far, he has 41 carries and should have more than he did last year pretty shortly. We're going pass protector this time. Kyle McCann is a true 80 overall left tackle, which makes him a top 35 tackle. The classes in Madden tend to generate too many good tackles. Denario Barnes, we're actually going to go slot this time because while he's a big play waiting to happen, I still want to get that short route running up a little bit, and it's still in the 60s. We haven't played a game where the sun's out here in a month. All right, taking on New England. Can we top the 7-1 AFC East leaders? The Dolphins have taken a step back this year. I haven't really seen Buffalo. They just haven't shown up on the ticker when I've looked down there. They're 2-5. Okay. So we're in second place. We can tighten the standings if we pull off the upset here on the road. Meanwhile, if the Patriots can sweep us and get to 8-1, we're likely looking at another year of hoping we can make it in as a wild card. May off play action. Downfield, and there's Douglas. He broke a tackle. That throw was right on time. Why is Demario Douglas so good against us? 11 yards away for New England. As they look for opening drive points, that's batted down by Thomas. 3rd and 3, and we just made it even easier. Drake May lined up for a second sneak attempt, and he's 2 for 2. They'll call this a Patriot touchdown. What a start for Max Wilbon, throwing us down the field. We stall out and have to settle. But if we can score some points, I like our chances of hopefully getting a better performance from the defense than we did in that first meeting. Big play. Kevin Fulcher. And then a touchdown to Elijah Dunn to take the lead. 4th down conversion. Can't forget about Adonai Mitchell. Let's jump in. 14-10. Trending to be a little bit higher scoring, just like that first meeting ended up. And that's Blaylock sitting it down for a first down. Back to the air. What a route. Corner of the end zone. Fulcher! Touchdown, Montreal. All right, this is just a nasty release here by Fulcher. Right around him. And then breaking to the back pylon. These receivers are fun. Another good game between us and New England. That's what I'm talking about. 51 yards, Cole Bradford. I'm expecting it to be Barnes every time. Honestly, it usually isn't. 24-17. Come on, defense. This is a tough team to defend. They're going to go inside. Let's go, Newton. Good stuff. Now we're going to send 5. Drake May over the middle. It's enough. Uh-oh. They're going to beat the blitz with Travion Henderson, and that is a gain of a dozen. On the carry, Chad Jennings meets him. Why does it take 4 defenders to tackle him? All right, this is going to be interesting because usually when they come out goal line on a short yardage situation, it's a sneak. But this is not really sneak yardage they need here. It's 3rd and 2. It's a throw of all things, and Drake May throws incomplete. Interesting. New England down 4, and they've made it back to Snowhawk territory. Welcome to another close 4th quarter. Almost every game ends up being a 1-possession contest in the 4th. Drake May on 3rd down, testing deep again. That is broken up by Thomas. Any chance that's been taken, our defense has looked more prepared for it this year than last. They're going to try to pin us deep now. This is going to be returnable. Barnes stays in bounds. Couldn't risk that one going out of bounds on us. Elijah Dunn with a good carry to start the drive as he gets 6. And we'll get Whiteside a carry now, and he'll take it up across the 30. A little play action now. They seem ready for it. I wonder there if I could have gone to Bradford. 325 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, just don't even ask how Wilbon's doing until October rolls around, I guess. Maybe if he wasn't benched a couple years ago, he could have had a similar turnaround. I wasn't willing to wait around. Barnes on the reception now. It's a throw. Watch out. We got Barnes sprinting through the middle, trying to split the safeties. Another carry, and Whiteside's had a great possession. You know what we're doing down here. Barnes and Whiteside both line up in the backfield. They're going to go after him now. Barnes in space. He gets 7. Crowding up the line now. Barnes on the handoff. He's got it. That's just too easy. Touchdown, Montreal. This was supposed to be a keeper, too. This was a read option, but I just, don't care. He's faster than you. Picked off Deontay Mallard, the first-year starting cornerback in the slot. And Montreal looks to even the season series with their biggest win this year. Cliff Pierman makes it an 18-point game. We are in blowout territory as Matthias picks off Drake May. The Snowhawks are soaring again to 5-4 with a signature win that keeps them in the running for the AFC East crown. Oh yeah, let's see that touchdown one more time. The Kevin Fulcher special. That release was filthy. Devontae Adams level release by Kevin Fulcher on that play. Wilbon has one of his best games maybe ever. Drake May does not. Elijah Dunn goes for 58. Whiteside 2 for 22. And Blaylock had 9 catches. Good to see that. I have a hard time imagining how we only get Barnes 4 for 56 in some of these games. Obviously, it's very different when you're simulating versus if I was actually playing, he'd probably get a lot more of a workload. We just beat a 1-loss team and face another one in Baltimore. Montreal is a top 5 scoring offense this year, and the defense is quickly improving. A year ago, our points per game average was 22.1 points per game, and we're really close to that at the moment. I talked about this a bit in the last video, but if you can get to 6-4 through your first 10 games, I think you feel pretty good about your chances to go to the playoffs, and a win today would get us to 6-4. We've gotten a lot better on these tough third downs. We're still taking sacks from time to time, but we're getting a lot back, and sacks aren't automatic drive killers. Touchdown, Cole Bradford. We got to do a stat update soon because he catches a long touchdown, it seems, weekly. Oh, big play, and we recover a fumble at the end of it. Good job. Or maybe that wasn't a big play because we got the ball right here. 28 to Kevin Fulcher. This drive is going to turn into a Cole Bradford touchdown. Inside give, nice stiff arm, and then a broken tackle. So this is the new running back, Joshua Stoudemire for the Ravens. To the right, and then changing direction. Yeah, this guy's good. I have seen enough. Play action. Jackson is sacked. And it's Joel Newton. Now behind the sticks, Lamar Jackson got it to Stoudemire, and Rivera couldn't keep up. Off the fake, Lamar Jackson now extends and takes off, getting 8. Jackson trying to cut into this lead, and he throws a pick. He had Webster wide open, but it's forced to Zay Flowers. Nick Matias on the takeaway. Oh my. 41-yard touchdown, Kevin Fulcher. It's 21-0. Baltimore still hasn't scored. 24-0, late third. Jackson. We rush the throw, and it's incomplete. Jackson looks to throw, and now it's high. We're starting to get pressure just in time to impact some of these plays. I actually don't like our options here. I'm changing everything. Going to do some more edge rush rotation. And it's 3rd and 10. Jackson gets it away, and this time it's on target. We're sending pressure this time. It's a backwards pass. Forcing him out is Azareye'h Thomas. Nice play. Jackson again on 3rd down. It's a 4-man rush. The pressure is there. And what a play. He picked it. The rookie just jumped for the football. It's Miguel Ortiz. That is one of the most impressive interceptions I've seen in this game. It was one play after I decided to put him in. Hit him in the arm. And he finds it off the rebound. The big man superstar X Factor interception. And the Ravens still have no points. 6 turnovers is what it says. How many times can I say this is our best win ever? Because this might be the new high mark. Defensively, for certain. We're throwing this one, and Bradford makes an acrobatic reception. We just had Juan Corbett leave with an injury, and Elijah Dunn bends this run back to the right, gets the first. It's a bruised hand. Facing a 3rd down and 11. That is Barnes, and he holds on. He's actually become one of the more trusty contested catch guys on the team this year. Bradford comes across and almost makes a touchdown scoring move. Whiteside scores, and it's a dominant Snowhawks lead 30-0. The Ravens finally score with around 7 minutes to go in the game. Oh my. 42-yard touchdown, Cliff Pierman. Montreal smokes Baltimore 38-7. The 8-1 Ravens suffer their worst loss. And we made a lot of plays against Lamar Jackson. We're starting to take the football away. I'm starting to switch up the defensive calls a little bit. I'm calling a lot more cover 4, a lot more cover 2. And I like the results. 3 touchdowns for Max Wilbon, 2 picks for Jackson. Again, not getting a ton from the running game. Elijah Dunn's gotten a lot of opportunities. Maybe we try a little bit more Whiteside. 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. We also had 4 fumble recoveries. So yes, 6 turnovers. Miguel Ortiz got his first career interception today, and there is a +4 block shed boost for the second-year defensive tackle from UCLA. A new injury. Bryce Chamberlain, our right tackle, is going to miss 3 to 5 weeks. The backup is Anthony Stanley. I'll go ahead and move him to right tackle then. He'll replace him for about a month. And hopefully this offense doesn't miss a beat because they're playing some good football. But it is a drop. I mean, Chamberlain is just an all-around better player. Matthias is named the Defensive Player of the Week now. So we've won another award. 9 tackles, a pick, a forced fumble, 2 recoveries. The number 4 scoring offense in football. I like the sound of that. Stat update 10 games in. Max Wilbon continues to turn his season around. No interceptions over his last 4, throwing 10 touchdowns in that span. Here's the running game. Elijah Dunn, still a better average than Quentin Whiteside on near equal carries, but you'll notice Whiteside actually breaking a lot more tackles and is better in the passing game. We have a ton of rushing touchdowns this year. Pierman has 5, Dunn 3, Barnes 4, 3 receiving touchdowns for Denario Barnes. But Kevin Fulcher is still outproducing him, and Jeremy Blaylock has yet to find the end zone. Very surprising. The sack leader, Jordan Rivera, has 7? And that's all just like blitzing. 6 for Chad Jennings, 4 for Joel Newton. And the interceptions are starting to pick up. +6 block shed. Nice boost here for young edge rusher Brandon Sheffield. We take on the Dolphins now, trying to continue some really good AFC East play, and we already beat them once. And the rules are, you gotta get the sweep. It's happened 5 consecutive years. Montreal just took the lead in the third quarter. It's 21-17. Montreal leads by 4. And Whiteside gets the carry. Just 7 rushes for 30 yards in this game. The rushing numbers haven't really been there as much. We've turned into a passing team. I guess we were. We had a 4,000-yard passer last year. That is so unlucky. His first pick since before the winning streak. As soon as I threw that, Barnes got bumped. So opportunity for Joe Burrow in a 4-point game. 7-4 is on the line. Burrow dumping over the middle. 9-yard pickup. Achan. A little easy there. We got to get some fresh linemen in the game. This is 2nd down and 6. We're sending 5. Burrow! That's dangerous. Got to get to the 21. Burrow, end zone. Not this time. Intercepted. Azarie Thomas. And he brings it out. Man, this guy is incredible. Matched up there with Keon Coleman. That's our football. One interception follows another. This is Whiteside. Watch out. 14-yard pickup. Yep, that's Barnes in the backfield again. And on 1st down, out in space. Watch out. It's a 1st down and more. Denario Barnes to the Dolphin 40. I'm not sure it's possible to get this guy too many touches. Another run. This is Barnes now just straight ahead with that great speed. We're going to the air. Fulcher. Haven't forgotten about him, the team's leading receiver. He's playing running back this possession. Barnes on a 5-yard pickup. 2nd down, going end zone. Barnes, no way! I just straight up said you can't cover him. Chase Barton picks it off, and they still have a chance for Joe Burrow. Tried to dagger our rival, Miami Dolphins there, and now Joe Burrow looks to make me pay. Fakes, tosses it outside, and it's a short pickup. Burrow off play action. Villa's there. Down he goes. 3rd and 16. Burrow's going deep again. Thomas is in the area. Incomplete. And they've got to kick it away there. 4th and 16. Hard to go for it in that spot. And now we've got to end this game. All right, 3rd and 10. Miami's already used 2 timeouts on this possession. It's a screen now for Barnes, and that's going to be a first down. It also stopped the clock. So, fresh set of downs, and they're going to sack Wilbon. That was a really bad sack. 3rd down and 19. A first down would end it. But that is very far away. And at least it's going to be a completion to keep the clock moving. 62 yards? I don't know. There's only a little bit of wind. You know, he has high kick power. It's at least a 97. If we miss this, it's going to give the Dolphins incredible field position. Josh Sanchez gets this one up, and he got all of it. 24-17. So we know in mostly neutral conditions he can handle 62 and potentially up to like 65 or 66 yards. Good information for down the road. Dolphins will have a chance now to go for the tie. 1 minute, 9 seconds left. Joe Burrow's pass is incomplete. 3rd down and 10, Miami. Burrow high, incomplete. And here we go. A chance to seal it. 4th and 10. Joe Burrow needs a play. Looks deep. Incomplete. His secondary is playing incredibly well today. And we're going to win this game despite some bad play on my end. Could have won a little bit more comfortably if I wanted to play a little safer. But 24-17, we still beat them by a touchdown and have now swept the Miami Dolphins. The series has now seen a sweep all 6 years. Wilbon, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Denario Barnes, 8 for 63. We are now within a half game of first place in the division. But at 7-4, that would put us as the last wild card team right now. It seems that the wild card race is going to be a lot tougher this year compared to last year. The current 8 seed, which wouldn't be in the playoffs, is 6-4. Here's something we haven't seen much lately. The Commanders just put 20 points on us in the first half of this game. And with 6 minutes to go, we've got some work to do to continue this streak. Cutting left with Whiteside. He just feels really good to use in this game. The shifty running backs that can change directions, I think, control better than just like high speed guys or high power guys. They're just smooth. Blaylock on the catch. Why do you have 106 yards? No way this defense is that nice. I got 2 stars on the whole unit. Play fake, and now it's going to be Bradford making the catch. 2nd down and 9. Blaylock makes the catch. Turns it upfield and is down to the 11. Tough spot to be in here, but it's 3rd down, and Blaylock got it to the first down marker. Very generous spot. Definitely want to score before the warning in case we cannot get our conversion. And Pierman continues to rack up the rushing touchdowns. When you need two, what do? Denario Barnes is in the backfield. And we're going to throw. Pass from Wilbon. Incomplete. I didn't want Fulcher there, but he and Blaylock ended up in the same spot. Right up the middle, and I thought he was about to get through. But we'll spend our time out. Jaden Daniels, that's a superstar X-Factor running back too. Now they're going to throw it. Kind of a risky decision. Really could be anything here. This is to... they're going to throw it. Jaden Daniels under pressure. Can you get him? He broke a tackle and got the first down. Just one timeout left. Why are they throwing it? Jaden Daniels. Complete. An incomplete pass would be massive at this stage. 2nd down and 3. They're still throwing it. And that's how they're going to end it. All right, Montreal's win streak will be coming to an end. And it's a 20-18 loss. We shut them out in the second half and still couldn't get it done. Yeah, pretty quiet day offensively. Only 24 pass attempts. It just seems like we didn't run that many plays. And we haven't been great running the ball. Nice upgrade there for Cliff Pierman, who is our rushing touchdown leader. So now we get Dallas. We're going to have a late bye, week 14. That doesn't even sound like a real week to have a bye happen. Dallas is 2-9, so this needs to be a win. But the playoff picture is now available to check with 5 games remaining, and we're currently in line with work to do. +3 press coverage there for Deontay Mallard. Mitchell Bergstrom now, the center. Little bit of an upgrade there. The offense has started slowly again this week. Dallas leads with 3 field goals. But we just took the lead. Thank you, Cole Bradford. 14-9. I'm not sure who anybody is here outside of CD Lamb. Dallas down by 5. The quarterback is Kurt Baker. Dallas at 2-9. A keeper for the quarterback. That's a loss. Baker's throw is caught. Matthias didn't see it as it flew directly over his head. He could have picked that pass. Dallas trying to get the lead. Okay, there's no one out there, and they still got George Pickens too. Touchdown Cowboys. 2-point try, and it's a 1-point lead. 161 yards of offense. What is going on here? We're playing against these teams that aren't even 500, and the offense is in a slump again. Maybe it was me throwing those 2 interceptions at the end of the Dolphin game. Got us out of our groove. Dolphins just won to move to 5-6. 2nd down and 8. How about Whiteside makes the catch and gets us a first down? Back to pass. Down goes Wilbon on the quick pressure. This is Barnes coming across the middle. 11 on the catch. Barnes up to 56 receptions on the season. 3rd down and 5. And Blaylock's the guy on 3rd down. He's not always open, but that doesn't matter. This is going to be Whiteside. And the run game continues to be more of a non-factor. Like every other year, it's good, but it hasn't really been predictable. I just assume that so much of this team is getting progressively better that nothing is going to drop off like that, especially over the course of an entire year. How about that protection? Got the time to find Blaylock. Under 6 minutes left to go. Good route. Fulcher is one of the best route runners on this team. Barnes in the backfield. You know where this one's going. Barnes to the edge, and they don't let him get all that space. Ooh, Kevin Fulcher's a little shaken up. That's all right. We got some depth now. That gives Adonai Mitchell a chance to step in. You know, it kind of feels bad to demote him to basically fourth receiver, but I do think it's what's best for the team. We're going to go over the middle. Got a 99 speed receiver in the backfield, and here I am throwing it to a blocking tight end. That's what y'all come to the channel for. Third down. You know where I'm going already, so don't blitz the guy directly over top. Second down and goal. Man, that route just takes too long. And over the middle, Barnes, he caught it. That's a touchdown. Basically the same thing, but he wasn't lined up in the backfield that time, and it was an option route. Touchdown, Denario Barnes. Here's the 2-point try. Barnes, 8 points for him. Trying to get our 8th victory of the season. Backwards pass. Pickens had nowhere to go. Baker on third down. Steps up, heaves it for Lamb, and it's picked. Out of reach and intercepted by Artie Barlow. It was disappointing last episode to have like very few defensive highlights from that whole thing. We've made up for it, I think, in this one. A lot of turnovers. The secondary's playing out of their minds. And good block. Pierman sprung to the edge. And a gain to the 44. Dallas has 1 timeout remaining. We're going to roll out and get Whiteside the ball. 4th down. And we got an indoor field goal try from 54 yards out. Sanchez gets it up, and that is a 10-point game. That's your final as the Snowhawks bounce back, don't win impressively, but still take it by 10 to move to 8-5. 3 touchdowns for Wilbon, bad completion percentage, but he protects the ball. 33 yards for Quentin Whiteside. And the leading receiver for us, Blaylock with 57. I feel like none of that came in sim. With 4 games remaining, we're now meeting the Cleveland Browns, who were the #1 seed last year. They're currently the 6, and we still hold on to the 7 seed. The 8th seed Chargers are just 1 game behind us. A quick update on Denario Barnes. So he's sitting at 116 rush yards, 4 touchdowns, and then has 4 touchdowns receiving on 640 yards and the punt return score. So 9 scores overall, and the goal is to make him the Rookie of the Year. And in the AFC, he is your current leader. Big one here between 2 of the better wild card teams. Snowhawks look to start strong, stall, and get their opening drive field goal. Cleveland, though, with a big drive to begin their day. And they're going to stall out as well. Chad Jennings ends their possession. Snowhawks then drive down for a touchdown on a Max Wilbon run. And we're taking control of things toward the end of the first half. Touchdown, Fulcher, and a 23 advantage. Ramsey, their young star quarterback, in the shotgun. A 10-point lead now for the Snowhawks, and that's a beautiful throw for the first. They run outside, and that is taken away. Darnell Stecker. 2nd and 12. Right on target. Not the biggest of windows, but Ramsey's hitting them. They're into Snowhawk territory. Ramsey on a 3rd and 5. Goes to the middle, and Harold Fannin just bounces right off. That's a fake. Ramsey, he's going to take off and not quite go down in time. What a collision. Throwing up top, and Ramsey got it this time. That wasn't Tyrell Matthews or Azarie Thomas. Deontay Mallard gives up the jump ball touchdown. Fourth quarter just about here. After this snap, deep ball. Oh, the safety's there. Barnes still made the catch. I shouldn't have gotten away with that one. Ball at the 19. We got a fake. And that was overthrown for Blaylock. Third down and 9. Floating. Oh, that's a bad pass again. Back to back for Wilbon. So we're not able to go up multiple scores. Kick from Sanchez makes this 23-17. Trying to get Judkins going now, and he breaks one tackle. It's a 4-yard pickup. 7:30 left to go. Another one that's just by Matthias. Up top now. Matthews is not giving that up. Incomplete. Ramsey, wide open look. Quentin Johnston. Inside Judkins, and goal to go. Come on, D. Ramsey on the keeper. What a call. The Browns can take the lead. There we go. 23 to Denario Barnes. Getting back in range for an answer. Who would have thought we'd be here with an expansion team and the Cleveland Browns fighting for playoff positioning? 4.5 on the clock. Here's room for Whiteside. 9 more. Uh-oh. Dunn is met. Not much he could have done there. Simply, their quarterback is too good to kick a field goal in this spot with the time remaining. 4th down. Throwing. Complete. It's Blaylock. 1st down. Parham is going to motion out. And we're going to toss this one to the outside. This is Barnes. 6-yard gain. Had to put him outside so he could actually be in front of him. Barnes, oh boy. Ran into his own man, but he gains 9. Again, Barnes deep in the eye. Play clock run down. And on the stretch, he loses yards. There was an RPO attached to that, and I kind of wanted to be able to throw it. 2nd and goal. This is Fulcher. That one didn't work. All right, 3rd and goal from the 8. Pressure's coming. And, incomplete. Blitz there kind of confused me a little bit. I wanted to get to Blaylock. And then if I had been able to just hit Bradford there off his break, that was going to be the best chance. So we're going to go up just a couple points after all with less time remaining. But all they need is a field goal to answer. I like the look we had there on the jet sweep, or I would have gotten out of it. Can we stop Ramsey now with the game on the line? He'll throw it out to Judkins. That's a drop, which is probably better for Cleveland. Ramsey on the outside, hooks up for a gain of 10. And they have a timeout left because I decided to throw that last pass basically away. They're not using it yet. Ramsey is through the line and is hit down, gain of 6, and that's where they'll spend it. Ramsey on 1st down. Where is everybody? Let him score if that's the way it's going to be. Seriously, that was a cover 4 quarters call No match coverage in this one. Why he thinks he needs to follow. Mallard just follows that receiver. What are you doing? It's the tight end, too. He just busted it. Cover 4 has become one of my main calls in this season, and it has never done that before. Sometimes cover 4 palms with the match rules will get screwed up at times, but that wasn't palms. So 26 seconds to get a touchdown. They're going to play the DBs back at least, and we'll start. It's going to be Barnes. And it's a gain of 14. Back to pass. Stepping up is Wilbon. Looking downfield. Out of reach. 13 seconds remaining. Opening up the middle again for Barnes. 7 seconds left. Can we give Wilbon some time? It'll get to the end zone. And it is incomplete on the final play of the game. And Cleveland has taken this one. And we fall to 8-6. We went 11-6 a year ago. And I don't know what the Chargers did this week. Yeah, not a great end of game. I need to capitalize there in the red zone. Wish I could call that jet sweep over again, do something else. But also that busted coverage couldn't have happened at a much worse time. Oh no! That is serious. Azareye'h Thomas, upper arm fracture? That is one of the 5 most valuable players on the entire team, and now we have to clinch the playoffs without him. 3 games remaining, 2 against Buffalo. And right now, we are still a playoff team. And the Chargers are 7-7. Denario Barnes gets another upgrade, as he may be named the Rookie of the Year. That's a +5 short route running boost. Now we're getting somewhere. With 3 games left to go, we'll play the same team twice. Buffalo hasn't been great this year, but Josh Allen just threw a pick-6 to Jordan Rivera. Or which one is it? Pick one. Another pick the next play, Tyrell Matthews. And without Azareye'h Thomas, he's going to have to step up. Everybody's going to have to step up. I don't know if our defense can keep playing at the level that we've seen without our best corner. And we're into the game. Josh Allen and the 5-9 Bills. Yeah, just him and James Cook. No other stars on this offense. And James Cook goes straight ahead for a nice run. Allen, play action, and nearly picked. Rivera was right there. 2nd down and 6. Yeah, we're all over everybody there. Last play of the quarter. Allen on 3rd and 7. It's in there. 1st down. 3rd and 3 for Allen, and they just run away from McWilliams that time. He hasn't played much. He's the number 4 corner. Whiteside gets by Fulcher and is only at 20 yards rushing. Man, I thought we had it all figured out here with this running game. Not quite. We're going to look to throw now. And downfield. This is way deeper than we should ever throw to Clifton Levy. But there was space. Part of me couldn't believe I actually threw that pass. And then we got away with it. Downfield. He is open. Blaylock. Catch and run. See ya. Touchdown, Montreal. If he didn't have a touchdown before, he does now. Ooh, what happened there? There's a lot of yards unaccounted for. But we're going to follow up that touchdown drive by building our lead up with a Quentin Whiteside score. And we take over the remainder of the game, winning 34-24. We achieve our second straight winning record and move to 9-6. I like our chances of making the playoffs if we win 2 out of our last 3 games, and there's one of them. Wilbon, 4 touchdowns, 326 yards, finished incredibly well. Denario Barnes goes over 100. Whiteside had 6 catches. Blaylock has a big game. And even without our lead cornerback, we get the job done. I think there's a good chance that he's able to play in our first wildcard game if we get in. Okay, the Chargers are now the 7, and we've become the 6 seed. So the team now we'd have to watch out for are the Raiders at 8-7. But we at least get a little game lead over those teams with 2 remaining. The 3-win Bengals are our next opponent. We try to get our 10th win. And Montreal cruises to one of their best wins on the year, 42-14. Pretty close to locking up a playoff spot with this. 4 touchdowns for Wilbon, 369 yards. A 93-yarder was in there, and it was to Bradford, of course. Where's the production for Barnes? 1 for 25? Are you serious? Man, this is so tight this year. We have now jumped up to the 5 seed, but the 8 seed Browns, who would be out, are 9-7. There are 3 9-7 teams. The Steelers are 8-8. So they're trying to get to 9-8. If we win, we're in. But if we lose, it creates a very messy tiebreaker. And we have a loss to the Browns. If it's a multi-team tie, that's where it gets really confusing. The last thing we want is to be in a tie with Cleveland because they'll beat us. And I suppose if we win and the Patriots lose, then we could win the entire division, potentially. We've been very strong in the East this year. So it seems anything is possible right now going into the last game against Buffalo. The ticker might give us some information that we can use. Let's try to get us off to a strong start then. Cardi to boot this one away. Montreal trying to go 11-6 in back-to-back seasons. Checking on our stats, by the way, Denario Barnes has overtaken Kevin Fulcher for the team's leading receiver. He needs 107 yards today for our first 1,000-yard season by a rookie receiver. And Max Wilbon already has over 4,000 yards passing. He's been on a heater, and he has 31 touchdown passes. Series records for Max Wilbon. We'll start with Whiteside. Man, it would be nice to get the run game going. Back to pass, and Levy is there. That better not be a fumble. There we go, got a block, and Quentin Whiteside picks up the first. We're going to run this one, and it's Denario Barnes to the edge, using that great speed to run past the defense on a 52-yard touchdown run. And if we make the postseason, we got to use Denario Barnes every way we can. Ooh, interception. Who got that one? Tyrell Matthews. He has stepped up in the absence of Azareye'h Thomas, and we have quickly gone up 17-0. Now a 24-7 game. And by the way, Cleveland already was victorious this week, 45-24. That's some extra pressure on us to win. And we're going to throw over the middle. There he is, Blaylock. We'll skip ahead as we are about to take this game into the fourth quarter. A fake from Wilbon, and he's got a receiver. That's Barnes inside the 10. Whiteside straight ahead. Could not reach it across. But how about our quarterback, man? What a year for Max Wilbon. Over 30 touchdown passes, leading a dynamic passing game. I never saw us building a pass game like that, because I didn't think we'd ever get the receivers. But we went over 4,000 yards passing last year. And then you luck into Denario Barnes going undrafted. Oh my, that's intercepted by Nick Matias, man. Josh Allen's worst enemy. He is like what Kirby Joseph is to Aaron Rodgers. Matias is that to Josh Allen in this series. Barnes at 21. I'm actually really curious. Does he have, was it 103 or 107? Because that would give him 1,000 yards on the year. He's so close. And he's wide open. Whatever it is, he should have it. Back to the air again. Barnes adds on. Now 11 catches. How's one more sound? And Barnes is going to get some blocks. And then that's going to be his regular season. And we're going to be headed back to the postseason this year, defeating the Buffalo Bills again, 34-14. That gives us a 5-1 record in division. So if the Patriots lost, I got to think they had to have taken at least one more conference loss at some point. Denario Barnes caps off his excellent rookie year with a 52-yard rushing touchdown. He had 11 catches for $126, a receiving touchdown. And we're going into the postseason with a really intriguing team. 2 new injuries there in the finale, though. And we have lost Tyrell Matthews and Elijah Dunn. Well, I hope we get a Zaire Thomas back. But our tandem is not going to be healthy, it appears, for the postseason. We're going to move ahead to the wild card week. And who's our opponent going to be? Montreal, for the second straight year, back in the postseason to play the Tennessee Titans. And that's who we got matched up with a year ago in the wild card. So we have made it as the 5 seed in back-to-back seasons. The Browns and Chargers made it. The Raiders are out. Ravens get the 1 seed. And we know about Atlanta over in the NFC, and they're a wild card team. So hopefully they get bounced early. Montreal finished the year with the second highest scoring offense. We did improve the scoring defense. And we were one of the best passing teams in football, maybe at the expense of our running game at times. Wilbon, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Outstanding. A 4,500 passing yard year. Quentin Whiteside is our leading rusher, but it was a very forgetful run game. And actually, Cliff Pierman ended up being the most efficient. Well, I guess Barnes has him beat, only 25 carries. 5 rushing touchdowns for Barnes, who then goes over 1,000 yards receiving with 6 catching touchdowns. And a punt return score in there as well. Cole Bradford has 10 touchdowns. Fulcher 9. Blaylock ends up with a pair. And the defense sees Jordan Rivera again lead in tackles. Chad Jennings again leads in sacks. But Rivera getting 8 as an off-ball linebacker is special. Tyrell Matthews, 4 interceptions. But not active for our postseason run. And let's check on the Rookie of the Year numbers, as we also see that Max Wilbon was a top 10 MVP candidate. We had Bradley Ramsey get named Offensive Player of the Year. Will Anderson got it on defense over Jordan Rivera. Let's see Will Anderson get 150 tackles with all those sacks. Denario Barnes is Offensive Rookie of the Year, as we expect. And he has changed this team. We're going to have to make some room here. I'm clearing open a spot on the practice squad so I can send down a defensive tackle, Ben Ventura, and we're going to sign a running back. And it's going to be Justice Pleasant from the Chicago Bears, a second-year player with speed and pass-catching ability. But we're matched up with the Tennessee Titans, a team that scored a lot of points this year. They're very good running the football. And let's take a brief look at their roster. Jeffrey Simmons leads the way. They've got a really good guard in Braden Perkins. Manuel Alvarado. Some really good linebackers. Bo Nix is the quarterback. There's a lot of defensive talent on this team. A lot of work to get this team back to the postseason, and now we try to make it past the Tennessee Titans for the second straight year. Josh Sanchez has it teed up, and we'll open with our defense in Nashville. Bo Nix will take the field at about the 24-yard line. No Tyrell Matthews as we get underway and stuff that run. Nix throwing over the middle. Nice pass. Pulled down by Okonkwo. Throw to the outside from Nix. 8-yard pickup. They stick with the run, and with a broken tackle, Brandon Coleman gets it. Fake from Nix. Attacks the middle and finds a linebacker. Picked off by Jordan Rivera. And we'll get this party started now at the 36. And huge loss for Whiteside. Now a play fake going over the middle, and that's intercepted. Back-to-back turnovers. Wanted Kevin Fulcher. Bo Nix will throw one over Okonkwo's head. Nix throws outside, and he lost it. Mallard there in coverage instead of Tyrell Matthews. Third down and 10. Nix throwing outside, and that's off the hands of Thomas now and nearly picked. 56-yard field goal try. And this kick is good. Tennessee strikes first. Whiteside's going to get the carry here, and Jeffrey Simmons somehow didn't make the tackle. I don't think this is going to be the matchup to get our running game on track. The passing game got us here, and it's going to be on them to get us to the second round. Fulcher will have the catch. Back to pass. Whiteside's turn. Maybe he can do more damage as a receiver. But if we want to have a run game presence, it might be a really good day to use Denario Barnes even more in this role. Pitch outside. Barnes, first down. He's lined up there again on first down, and they're blitzing. Wow, I can't believe they covered that well. Barnes slips a tackle and then pushes the pile. Back to pass. Fulcher gets us the conversion and now flies ahead beyond the 20-yard line. Sometimes we use Barnes a lot. He has to rotate out of the game. That's the case here as Whiteside cuts it inside. Gain of 9. And we're going to throw it. There is Blaylock on the RPO. And up and over the cameraman, too. Touchdown, Montreal. Moving along, Titans. Looking to get their first touchdown. They have it in the red zone now. A run inside. Brandon Coleman spins through a tackle. Bo Nix throws over the middle, and Tennessee gets their touchdown catch. Tennessee back on the move again. Touchdown, Matt Slayton. It's a 10-point lead. And then we just threw a pick the next play. What is going on? All right, they're losing yards at least here. We've got to keep them from getting a touchdown. We have to keep this within reach. A lot of time left to go, but Really bad second quarter. As Knicks with time. Oh no, that's going to be close. Gain of about 15, and they'll go for it. Back to pass. Knicks throws, and they got it. Bo Nix. Deep drop. We got him down. Javier Villa. Pressured again. Back-to-back sacks. Knicks, third down. He's going to the end zone, and McWilliams bats it away. Pressure on the offense now for Montreal. We trail by 13. And we're going to try to get it to the Rookie of the Year here. This is Barnes. Pressure coming. Blaylock right at the sticks for us. And Whiteside gets through and is taken down at the 41. Let's go for Bradford now. A minute 20 left. Plenty of time. Third down. Whiteside, the conversion. Back to the air again. Barnes breaking out. 10-5. Touchdown. And the Rookie of the Year makes this a one-possession game. The defense, though, just hasn't had a very good game thus far. So now we're down by 9. Tennessee was able to grab a field goal. But we're definitely missing, the strength of our defense is in the secondary, and Tyrell Matthews is down. It was all right when we were missing a corner, but playing against sub-500 teams in the regular season. But now Bo Nix throws complete. Off the fake. Nix dumps it off. Coleman. Teams with really good running backs are not fun to go up against with this defense. We're built up now to stop a lot of things, but not really elite running backs. To the outside, just giving way too much space out there. Third down and 4. Just trying to limit touchdowns the rest of the way. And Nix tosses it over the middle for a Tennessee touchdown. Wow, I don't think I've seen the CPU do this. It's a 15-point game. They're trying to make it a 3-possession matchup now, and we'll deny it. Looking to throw and coming across Kevin Fulcher. We need yards and fast. On the screen, here's Whiteside. There's a conversion, yes. As the fourth quarter now hits, we're down 15 points. No way. More pressure to deal with. How is Jeffrey Simmons not retired yet? I guess it's only year 6 in this series. Third down. Man, Fulcher had him beat and then got bumped. Still makes the catch because he's so good. It would have been even more wide open, but they screwed up his release. Come on, screen. Bradford now. Wide open, Barnes to the 4. Back to pass. Touchdown! Jeremy Blaylock. Barnes is in the backfield. A 2-point try for Montreal to make this a one-possession game, and Denario Barnes makes it 29-22. Got to get off the field now, and this is not an ideal start. 10 yards, but at least we scored quick. 10 minutes leaves time for, even if they score again, like, we can still be in this game. But Bo Nix needs to get stopped here. This is another gain of 9. And no, not Chad Jennings. We cannot lose our best pass rusher in addition to a top corner. That's the identity of this team. Coleman. Man, Rivera screwed that up. Titans continuing to protect Nix well. Finally a play on first down that kind of goes our way. Empty on third down for Bo Nix. And that is going to be enough. Good fake. But Nix is sacked at the 38. Javier Villa. Now second down and 18. Of course they come back and get a dozen. Why is Bo Nix so good? I think ever since the first game in the Steelers franchise year 10, where he faced Bo Nix, and he went toe-to-toe with us. Ever since then, I've been kind of like afraid of facing him, and I think he's played really well. And I've seen him way too much in the past month. 3rd and 6. That is close. And the call is, kick. We'll take it. We'll take it. That was a 4-minute possession. And they will go up by 2 possessions again. Barnes on the kick return. No fireworks yet. So we need to score and make sure there's still a good deal of time remaining. Max Wilbon getting back to work. Denario Barnes. How about all this room now? Makes a man miss. That didn't look good the way he went to the ground. Now, Fulcher's going to get one manufactured. There's a block from Whiteside. Back to pass. And wide open, Bradford. Oh, he couldn't hold on. Pressure is picked up. There is Blaylock. And not much time has come off the clock yet. Down by 10. Screen for Barnes. Jets outside. Runs around Patterson there. Whiteside in the game. Motioning out. What I wanted wasn't there. Back to pass. Oh, not again. 3rd and goal from the 22. We got one-on-one. Got to take it. And Barnes just made the catch. Wow. Denario Barnes willing us to stay in this ball game. Max Wilbon with a perfect throw. This connection is special. That's a good kick return, and we'll see if we can give our offense one more chance. Here come the Titans. 3:24 to play. The game is officially on the line. They take it to the right. Down goes Coleman. Let's burn a timeout there. They're going to look to throw now. They've done a really good job after they lose yards of getting a bunch back. Part of how they have 432. And now it's a 3rd and 6. They'll run this down. Nix over the middle and caught Trey Harris. We only have 1 timeout remaining. Rivera on the wrap up, and that's it. We've spent them all. A first down would end the game. Defense, you gotta come up and make a play now. Play fake, Bo Nix. He goes for the win! That's why I'm afraid of Bo Nix. Just challenged us downfield on the play action shot. And that should be it. Our defense just didn't have it today. I was not ready to be done recording this. Well, unfortunately, our playoff run is going to be cut very short. They're going to kick a field goal here. Oh, as time expires. Yeah, that help your point differential. So we go 11-6, just like a year ago, even mimicking the 2-4 start. And then we take off, have a great rest of the year, make it to the postseason, but can't win a playoff game this year. We've now established that this team is good enough to go to the playoffs in back-to-back years. I mean, that's serious, because the second year, you face a tougher schedule, depending on where you finish in the standings. Great day for both quarterbacks, really, but the interceptions from Wilbon just too much to overcome. So at this point, playoff success is what this series is about. Nothing else really matters as much. We established and developed Denario Barnes this year as the new superstar of the offense, and he was outstanding. Delonte Parham made it to the Pro Bowl this season. Jordan Rivera and Nick Matias are Pro Bowlers. Man, where's Azareye'h Thomas? Y'all are getting this wrong. And I can't believe that Barnes is not a Pro Bowler this season. That's terrible. The story of this episode is clearly rookie Denario Barnes. And I'm really excited to have a chance to now have a receiver of his caliber to try making more runs. We have a legitimate chance at a Super Bowl in this series, largely in part because we now have a playmaker like him. The Cleveland Browns have just won the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. Congratulations to Cleveland, back-to-back titles for them. For retirements, you gotta wonder about that running back position. It's always possible. Doesn't appear we had any retirements. And here are all the developments. The offense feels the same. Now we have Matthews and Thomas as X-Factor corners. Barnes is at star, Barlow at superstar. Rivera is still an X-Factor. And we still have our young defensive tackle in Miguel Ortiz at X-Factor. And I think next year he becomes a little bit more of a priority player. I already signed him to a big extension, by the way. That's one of the things in this series. Like, I'm having to sign players so early, so I'm, when I know a guy is that good with that much of a ceiling, we're going with at least 4 or 5 years on the contract. Our cap space is actually very thin right now as we look ahead to season 7. Holy cow. But these are the decisions I still have to make with $48 million in space. Can I really afford to keep around J.J. Parsons? Probably, for like $3 to $4 million a year. But these are the players I have not yet signed. Max Wilbon has crossed 20,000 passing yards with 121 touchdowns, and this was by far the best season of his career. 9 more touchdown passes than a year ago, 4 fewer interceptions, and nearly 500 more yards. I feel very comfortable with Wilbon as our quarterback. Let's see if he can solve September. Quentin Whiteside, now at 28 years old, I don't think regressed too much. -5 overall points. So that process has started, but he's not going to be completely erased from the offense next year at 28 years old. Adonai Mitchell didn't have much of a role this season, being the wide receiver 4. He only caught 20 passes for 283 yards. Jeremy Blaylock, now 352 catches, 20 touchdown receptions for him, and he's 28 years old. So our core players are still in their prime, not quite regressing in most cases. I think our window is still very much wide open. Jordan Rivera should reach 1,000 tackles next year. He has 13 sacks, 8 of which came this year, and then 10 interceptions. We were great intercepting the football today, but our defense lacks the depth to overcome key injuries. Xavier Thomas is actually the oldest player on the team now, and he is regressing. In some cases, we'll have to think about moving on from players that are getting up there in age if their role isn't full-time. And I'm also wondering now if after 2 playoff appearances, if it's time to maybe change up the episodes a little bit, because maybe spending a couple hours just in content time on the regular season isn't as interesting. Maybe now we just focus on getting to the playoffs and spend hopefully more time in playoff runs. I'd still look to play some regular season action, just cut it down significantly, and then when we get to the postseason, maybe I do even less simulating. I'm glad I played as much as I did today because I think it helped establish Denario Barnes and got him over 1,000 yards receiving with 195 yards rushing. So the Denario Barnes highlights were excellent, and I got to continue to get him the ball even more next year. Cole Bradford, by the way, he's now a true 81 overall. So I honestly think there's a chance that if he had to, he could replace Kevin Fulcher. Both are now 81 overall. Barnes is an 80. He's going to probably be listed as the wide receiver 1 the entire season next year. I didn't want to change it midway through or late in this video because I was so used to calling plays and knowing what side of the field he'd be on. I didn't want to mirror anything. I already knew what routes I could get him with, and it was easier for me to just play with him as the wide receiver 2. But I think next year we'll shift him over to the 1, which should even help his simulating stats even more so. Darnell Stecker's emergence might be pushing Xavier Thomas off the roster. It's hard to have like 30-year-old backups. We have to have room for some young players with more upside, and we have Sheffield and Devin Schultz, who are each going to get a roster spot. We got Miguel Ortiz, who I think will be one of our big focus players next year. We'll have a chance to actually do the training camp with him and probably get him to the point where he's a starter. I see him taking over maybe for Joel Newton, who is still signed for the next 2 years, but I can see Jennings and Ortiz kind of becoming that primary tandem. In the secondary, I'd still like to keep developing Mallard, but we'll probably replace McWilliams with a younger cornerback. If you'd like to see me adjust the videos to be a little less regular season oriented, now that we've conquered the regular season twice, I can make that adjustment. And we can do what it takes to try to get the Montreal Snowhawks to the Super Bowl. Despite falling short of last episode, I still think that the Denario Barnes story is overall a net win today. I think we got closer to a Super Bowl today, even if we didn't win a playoff game. Between Barnes and Miguel Ortiz, the high upside players are showing up at the right time to supplement this team. And that's why I think our window is wide open. Thank you all for watching. That will do it for this episode. And I will see you all next time as we take this team and try to get closer to a championship. Subscribe to the channel. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will catch you all next time.